You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
Good to see you. Change hats.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, all around the world watching and joining in for this 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. We're back here at Church Street Park. No more Rafters on offer today, but we're going to get to the likes of the Baltimore Royals and the Orlando Galaxy. I'm Om Patel. I'm joined by, as always, Nate Hayes. Nate, back here at Church Street Park after another year and, after another weekend. And again, we had a lot of good games. Even yesterday, we saw the start of the Central when we talked about Dallas and what's going on in the Texas scene, and I think we're in for a thriller tonight.
Oh, I definitely think we are. It's great to host neutral games here at Church Street Park. Obviously, we'd love to host the Raptors, but any games we can host here, we're happy. We're thrilled to have Baltimore in the South this season, and we're happy to be hosting the Orlando Galaxy here. This is a team that's putting the pieces together as every season goes by, and I think the big thing that they're focusing on, talking to their coach Shabby, is that they want to unify, they want to be united, and kind of block out all the external things and just focus on cricket on the ground, focus on supporting each other.
Well, it'll be the Baltimore Royals coming in with ball in hand first, as we see the Orlando Galaxy. They'll be with the bat, starting them off and getting their campaign going. We saw Baltimore last weekend, Nate, start things off against the Morsel Raptors. Got a win in the opening match, then fell to the Morsel Raptors in that second match. And so now we're going to see what they can do in their third match there. And for, again, the Orlando Galaxy, they'll be opening their account today, opening their weekend and getting things underway.
Yeah, Baltimore is a very talented team. We saw last weekend, you would have thought that maybe they would be on their way to 2 wins in a row after winning the very first one. Typically, Morrisville has an advantage in that first game of any series here at Church Street Park, knowing the ground so well and the ground being so unique. And so, it's a turf wicket. A lot of these teams aren't used to it. Of course, this year that's almost a moot point, as almost every game this season will be on either turf or hybrid. So far, anyways.
Which is super exciting to see. Again, we saw a lot of work be done in 2022 to get hybrid wickets and turf wickets into most of the areas. In Baltimore, they're playing their games at Church Street Park because of the desire of a turf wicket. As you see Captain Jaskran Malhotra on your screen there, he'll be keeping wicket for the Baltimore Royals. And if we can get into the pitch here, we're going to see what the openers are going to be for the Orlando Galaxy. Again, a little bit of a different side here for the Galaxy compared to what they usually go to. So we take a look at the openers. We see Mitul Patel, who was just terrific last season opening the batting for the Galaxy, and Nasir Ahmed Khan. And Nasir Ahmed is someone who, again, was a top order batter for the Orlando Galaxy. So an experienced side for these two, for the Orlando Galaxy, is they'll get things underway. We'll look for a strong target, a strong start. We saw that 150, 160 was chaseable in both games, and the key is going to be about the power play and holding on to wickets in the power play. Didn't see a lot of chances to really accelerate as Derville Green comes in for the first delivery. And pulled into the leg side will be the first runs for the Orlando Galaxy. We'll just get one of them to start off.
And before the game, we were talking about who was going to partner with Mitul. We knew Mitul was coming out to open the batting. He's involved so much with this team. He's the wicket keeper, obviously. He's a very busy guy, has a big load to carry. But we threw the name Dimitri Adams out there, so it's interesting to see. Let's see what we can get from Khan here.
Again, Nasir Ahmed.
Nasir Ahmed, yes, my fault there.
Nasir Ahmed, a very aggressive bat in his own right, someone who can get the scores going very quickly. And Derville Green, we saw him start off real well from this end of the ground against the Mortal Raptors. Able to wicket maiden from this end, getting the ball to just have a hint of movement away from the right-hander and being hard on that length. Something that he found very successful. Again, the Baltimore Orioles, they'll be looking for early inroads here to get through the Orlando Galaxy. Don't want to really get or let the Orlando Galaxy get off to a start. This delivery's like that. That's the delivery we're talking about, where he's just so effective on that hard length, right around off stump, moving away. Just becomes hard to play. Again, a deliveries like that, Nate, that's what's going to keep Baltimore keep them right ahead of this game.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of this last week early, too, against the Raptors in the first game.
There you go, edge. Was it taken? Has this been a terrific catch by Jaskar Malhotra? He's holding up the glove, and yeah, walking away is Nasir Ahmed. What a catch that is from the captain, and what a way to start for the Baltimore Orioles. The first run come on the board, but then the first wicket quickly follows off a terrific diving catch from Jaskar Malhotra.
Great line and length on that. Excellent stop by Malhotra. This is going to make the plays of the week, I believe. This was a great stretch by Malhotra to catch this at the extent of his reach.
Yeah, you could take a look on that replay there, and again, just diving out of frame and making it look real easy, that catch. And again, Jessica Malhotra was behind the stumps all Major League Cricket long, and so that experience is going to keep him behind the stumps, trusting himself, the captain. And again, that initial wicket going to do Derville Green some good as well. And now we'll see who comes in now for the Orlando Galaxy, as they're already one down. Not the start they would have wanted. Again, we already mentioned how the Orlando Galaxy, this is their first game of the season, so you're going to want to get off to the right foot, especially with how loaded this Southern Division is. Nate, we talk about the likes of the Atlanta Lightning, the Atlanta Fire, who of course won it in 2022, and then the Baltimore Royals with the win already, the Montreal Raptors. You still got to deal with the Fort Lauderdale Lions. So plenty of competition, and sent out Dimitri Adams to go and bat. He's going to be a key factor in today's match.
Oh, absolutely, and we know Adams can play the style where, you know, he'll rotate strike. He'll give the strike to Meetul as often as he can. He's there to rotate strike, frustrate the bowler, and stick around for a long time.
Well, we'll see what he's able to do again. Now a left-hand, right-hand combination. I think it's good with Derville Green bowling as a batting side to bring in a left-hander, because he's so consistent on that hard length and likes to just hint it away. As a left-hander, you can kind of come across and maybe take him into the leg side, maybe make him adjust and have to rethink the line he wants to bowl.
I think after seeing those last couple deliveries, it's a good move. It's a good thing for Orlando to have another look out there with a batter from the left side to see if he can get that line and length that he was just pummeling there. See if he can do that against the lefty.
We'll see what he can do against the lefty. Again, a slip in place here. Starts off full straight. Big shout. Chance of a run out as well. Direct hit would have been out. Derville Green still stunned it wasn't given. There might have been some bat involved, but Jaskar Malhotra nearly had a chance for another wicket of his own to get that run out there of Dimitri Adams, who was looking for the single, but Meetul Patel never interested in it.
Just by the quality of that particular sound, it was quite a noise. It sounded like bat to me.
Yeah, it did look it on first look. We'll get a second look here. Full and straight. That one runs through very quickly, and again, nearly a chance of a run out as well.
Meetul in no rush to take strike right now.
Well, hang on at the non-striker's end after seeing the first delivery of the innings. Since then, though, it's been all Baltimore Royals, and they'll love to start, but starts can be a little bit worrisome here at Church Street Park. Another big shout given this time. Dimitri Adams is saying there might have been bat, but this could have been pad, then the bat involved. Derville Green, left-handers, right-handers, doesn't matter. He's amongst the wickets.
That was a heck of a ball. The bat looked a little bit slow to get where it was going there. It's tough to tell, obviously, in real time. We are situated behind the batter here. But yeah, that was a heck of a ball.
Heck of a ball again. We talked about how he's been on a length. Well, to the left-hander, he went full and full again. And again, just taking another look at this delivery. Full, straight, given straight away, no hesitation there from the umpire. Dimitri Adams has to go. And the Orlando Galaxy, after being sent in to bat first, they're 1 for 2 after 1.
No fuss from Adams there. So you got to think it hit pad first.
So we welcome you back to Church Street Park, where the Baltimore Royals have gotten off to an absolute blinder of a start at the end of the first over. It's 1 for 2, and they bring out the new bat, who was sitting at the non-striker's end, Advit Varadarajan. But it'll be Mitul Patel, who will face Shami Gotra to start things off. We saw Shami didn't really get an opportunity with the ball in hand last week, and so a little bit of change in tactics here. Went a lot with Keon Joseph to opening, but now it's Shami Gotra, ball in hand. He keeps it full. Just trying to induce that drive there from Mitul Patel. Deep third man and a deep backward square. Interesting decision to have a deep backward square with how wide he's bowling there, Nate.
Yeah, that is an interesting choice. Makes you wonder if how much he missed there, if that was intentional.
Well, we'll get to see again how he just aligned. We mentioned last week opening off with Keon Joseph. Gotra in now. Again, goes wide. Interesting decision again with that fielder out there, deep backward square. Is it there for the bad ball? But it's been a clinical start for the Baltimore Royals. Again, the Orlando Galaxy coming into their first match would have wanted to get it off to a much better start, trying to set the tone early, create some momentum for themselves. And again, this hasn't been a ground where it's been easy to score quickly on. Now we've seen Derville Green come in and hit the long ball quickly, but beyond that, it's been a ground we have to see yourself in, build a partnership. And the Galaxy's going to hope is for the second wicket. Comes down the track, and again, real smart from Gotra. Saw the movement early, pulled the length back there. Real strong start for the Royals.
Very good start. And as you mentioned earlier, sometimes it can be tough to get off to a start here with the bat at Church Street Park. But the bowling here has been pretty solid.
Been incredibly solid, to say the least here. Hasn't given up a run yet, Gotra. And there you go, cleans him up straight through Mitul Patel, who just looked to fend it away. But he's cleared up middle stump. Semi Gotra, his first signs in 2023, lead to his first wicket.
Not too surprised by that length and that line when you look at the wicket there, when you walk over and glance at the wicket. Basically, yeah, it doesn't look terribly even right at that length. It's not totally flat.
Yeah, and especially with a new ball seaming it the way he is, Sami Gotra. Take another look at this. Again, just looking to push at it here. Comes well across and just gets through bat and pad. Again, just not moving as far away as maybe Mitul Patel was expecting, but delight for Gotra on the side. The Royals have the third wicket here with just one run on the board, Nate. The Galaxy, they're looking to start off strong in this tournament. Well, they're in a real spot of bother.
Yeah, this is not a good start, obviously. We got Trigar coming in. William
Trigar coming in with bat in hand, one of these new members to the side. The two men in the middle, actually two new members to the squad, and two members that they're going to have high expectations on, especially William Trigar, someone who is highly rated by a member of the ownership group that I got an opportunity to speak to over the past couple of days. Was really excited about what he can bring to the side, and it's time for him to show it now for the Galaxy. Really no choice. 1 for 3 currently in the second over.
Yeah, he was very complimentary about this ground when he showed up here today. Said this you could play first class cricket on the ground like this, is what he told me.
Well, right now, Shemi Gotar's able to play first-class cricket with the way he's just moving the ball through both edges of the bat. That one might have stayed low, and Jaskar Malhotra still on the ground, and I think that caught him on the back of the leg. Can we talk about a little bit of unevenness and unable to put any weight on that foot? Not something you're going to want to see if you're the Baltimore Royals. Take a look at this. He's hobbling around on the ground. Again, I think that ball just took an awkward bounce and found the back of that leg of his, and going to hope it's just a stinger and not something any more serious than that. But the way he's moving around there, Nate, scary signs.
Not what you want to see, not what you want to see at all from your captain and from a wicketkeeper of Jaskar's class there. Now, we've seen Jaskar captain an awful lot, and we've seen oftentimes he'll have someone else keep when he's captaining. And I think after that Major League cricket season, I think he understands that his role in Major League is going to have to be as a wicketkeeper. So I think we're going to see him continue as a keeper as often as he possibly can in minor league, which is a very good thing for him. But at the same time, a player of his quality, every time you're keeping, of course, you're very active. Your chances of injury probably a little bit better than if you're, catching cover.
Yeah, and he's still struggling there. Again, the pad has come off now. And the ball just came straight on the back of the foot, maybe even like the heel area, the Achilles. And so you just want to take a look. Again, you can see maybe some icy hot, some spray being dealt in that area, but Jaskar Malhotra really struggling at the moment. Going to hope he is okay. And that he can keep himself going here, especially for his side's sake. And there's one ball left in this second over. We'll take a quick break. Well, we're back at Church Street Park, and Jaskar Malhotra back on his feet. Good to see. Good to see that he is back and able to get himself going and for his side. And again, you can see he's still gimpy, and just something you're going to want to watch for. It's that right leg of his that he's going to be struggling on. Here we go. Last ball here, the second. And away from the outside edge once again, Shemi Gotar. He's bowled a wicket maiden here in the second, and that's going to do it for the second over. It's 1 for 3.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Derville Green to continue. And he's left it alone. He's absolutely taken out middle stump Derville Green. But Advit Varadarajan pulled out of it very, very quickly. So we'll have to re-bowl that delivery there. But I was just going to ask you the question, Nate. We saw Derville to the left-hander look to go full, look to go straight, and attack the stumps. I was going to ask, well, do you think he's going to go back to a similar tactic? Well, he just showed you there. Yeah, he is.
I think that's the formula for him against lefties right now. And honestly, why not? You know, just stick with it. It's working. You know, there were a couple comments about the wicket maybe not being even here, but we're not dealing with wicket issues right here when you're bowling that full.
Yeah, again, we'll see what we can get here from Derville Green. And again, for Advit, it's going to be about surviving. This one straying down the leg side. And that's the issue you can run into. And good work there from Jaskar Malhotra, who is still limping around, very, very gimping. And he's, I think, calling off. I think he's going to be asked to have a new keeper in there. You can see him continue to gesture. And yeah, that's what he's telling the leg umpire right now. He's telling the leg umpire, hey, can we just get a little bit of a break for the new keeper to come in? Moving on that right foot, I think he's decided that he can't do it anymore. I think he's saying after this over, I think he's going to tough it out. And good kudos to Jaskar Malhotra here.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, this is the risk when you bowl that, when you take that approach, batting at the feet. That's what you risk. You risk going behind the batter, getting a wide behind the batter's heel, and then when that happens, your keeper has to be very agile. He has to get over there and stop that ball. And Derville Green is not bowling very slowly, so that's a difficult thing to do. You got to get over pretty quickly, and that's really testing Jaskaran right now.
Full and straight and inside half of the bat, off the pad as well.
That's quite a ball right there.
A lot to do here for Advit and William Trigar at the other end. Again, really high expectations for this Orlando side coming in. Of course, dealing with the loss of a Tajarine Chandrapal, never going to be easy to replace that type of production. But with the return of a Rohit Dutchin and feeling that they've strengthened that middle order to get them through some tough spots. The spots like these they got to get out of. Full and straight again and nowhere to go. This is tight here. Nate, since the first ball, we haven't seen a run. There's been one run, and that was off the very first delivery. And since then, it's been the one extra, and then all dot balls here for the Royals.
Derville Green right now, impressing the heck out of me. Just this spell that he's producing right now. Excellent. He's doing exactly what he wants to do. You know, it's one thing to have a plan. It's another thing to go out and do it.
Does it again. Onto the pads. They'll get one. But again, you'll take this. The Royals winning this power play in spades. It's not even a question or a competition at the moment. He'll have the right-hander now, but for Derville Green, one could sit there and say, well, it's expected, right? He's going to bowl those balls coming back into the left-hander that are full and straight. You got to know that's coming. But it's so much easier said than done when you have those 3 wickets in the back pocket, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to know what's coming. It's another thing to be able to handle it. And right now, Orlando's really struggling with this tactic. And let's see what they do here with the young Australian from Queensland.
2 slips in play here for William Trigar. Again, one of a couple of under-21s they brought from Australia. And just fetching at it, just looking to poke at that one. We saw Derville Green. We mentioned to the left-handers how consistent he was going full to the right-hander. Very, very consistent on a length and getting it to move away. You can see Advit is looking to have a word with Trigar, and Trigar just saying, yeah, it's come off a length and moved away. And could you imagine here, if you're the Orlando Galaxy, if you could be 4 down in the 3rd over, Nate?
Oof, I don't think anyone wants to imagine, unless you're Baltimore.
Well, with deliveries like that, it seems more likely sooner than later. You can see Derville Green maybe just having a word with the young Trigar, who shows a smile back at him. And again, with the way the ball is moving around and the way Derville Green's bowling, why not have that word?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so we're seeing Trigar's strategy right here. Good length, 4th, 5th stump line to maybe a little bit of back of length to the righties and right at the toes of the lefties. It's working wonders. Just asking them to prod.
This one moved into the leg side. Chance of a run out. Won't be. They'll get a run to finish off the 3rd over. But it's been a shaky start for the Orlando Galaxy, to say the least. 3 overs gone. It's 4 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Well, we'll welcome you back to this 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. And Nate, gonna need a refueling here on some Lakshmi rice. Will the Orlando Galaxy, a slow start in their first 3 overs, 4 for 3, but it's been all gas for Sammy Gotra and the Royals. Starts off well again. This one run down to 3rd man. We'll get 1 for his efforts.
This is what you need right now if you're the Galaxy. You want to score 4 or 5 times in the over, even if that's just 4 or 5 singles. But you want to rotate strike, get some confidence, put some doubt in the bowlers so they don't have one batter pinned down so much. You definitely want to be rotating strike right now. They need to dig themselves out of this hole, and this partnership's going to have to take them a long ways if they want to do that.
I was going to have to. You mentioned it, Nate, is that also becomes probably the problem is you're in the power play. You want to try to take advantage, but you don't have a luxury. Big shout, probably headed down the leg side, if I would had to imagine. But you mentioned it, Nate, needing to build this partnership, needing to get these singles, but also you have to think about you're in a T20 match in the 4th over. It's the power play, only 2 fielders outside the ring. You got to score.
We've seen weird things happen at this ground. We've seen very low power plays that end up with good totals. It's awfully hard to dig out of 5 runs on the 2nd ball of the 4th over though. That's a big ask.
Well, it's the question that's been asked of the Orlando Galaxy. And with bowling like this, it's going to be hard to find answers to that question. Sammy Gotra brought into the side and making an immediate impact.
Yeah, you hear the bat there scraping the ground on that wider full-length ball there, causing an appeal. But yeah, it was very clearly bat sound off the ground.
Yeah, again, the Royals, they'll be real happy with the way they've started. And who wouldn't be? The one minus you'd say is maybe what's the health of Jaskran Malhotra, the captain. New keeper behind the stumps. This one on the length, tucked into the leg side. Quick single, chance of a run out. Direct hit could have been the end of Advait, but they get there in the end. Mentioned the new wicket keeper, Ahad Malik, taking the gloves as Jaskran Malhotra again, just finding the ball, finding the back of his leg, and gonna hope he's okay. And the Royals gonna hope their captain's all right for their batting innings to come.
And you see the Royals eager to keep pressure onto this Orlando side, gunning for the run out there. I think we want to see even more of that from the Royals. We've seen a little bit of low energy in the 2 games here prior from the Royals in the field as compared to their opponents. But this is the time to really keep the pressure on and take nothing for granted.
Well, it helps to get the energy up when you get those early wickets, and
sure does.
It would put the other team under real pressure. Slip in place now for Advait. On the legs and runs down. It'll be the first boundary there for the Orlando Galaxy. Off the legs of Advait, so it won't count towards his total, but all that matters right now for Orlando is that it counts to the Galaxy total.
Yeah, you need to get that scoreboard going, and they'll take that for certain. And here we go. This is an early sign of, obviously you want your primary keeper out there. You pick him for this reason. And it always makes a team suffer a little bit when you lose your primary keeper.
Yeah, you see this one tailing into the leg side. Maybe you could have asked Ahad Malik to be able to stop that one. It just flailed. Looked like it went right over that right hand of his. This one brilliantly struck into the offside. That's going to be 4 more. More confident looking stroke there. More confident looking 4. Really, really smart. Really, really good shot. And a great way to end that over there, Nate. And needed that, did the Orlando Galaxy.
Definitely. Celebrate that by having some Lakshmi rice.
Had indeed to get back into this match. Again, you take a look at this. Just a touch wider there. Really just asked to be hit and didn't miss out. Did Advit Varadarajan find that 4 and move the total to 15 at the end of 4 overs. And Derville Green will get his 3rd. They're going to go 3 in a row to Derville Green, who, again, has only given up 3 runs in his 2 overs. But without Keon Joseph in the lineup, you might be leaving yourself a tall ask for some of your other bowlers to death.
I think they're just going for the throat right now. And, I would probably do the same thing right here.
And this is why you go to Derville Green, because he's just keeping a hold on the Orlando Galaxy. And you mentioned it. I think you're absolutely right. Going for the throat, going for the kill, looking for the final nails in the cuff. You feel like if you take a wicket here and you take a wicket maybe the next couple of deliveries, this game could be well on its way.
Really, the best thing that could happen right now for Orlando is to just see the backside of Derville Green going to the boundary or somewhere. And so I think both of these batters will be like, oh, thank goodness he's out of there. You do not want to let the pressure off right now. You've got them, you've got your heel on their throat. I think you keep them in there and you test everybody.
Pushed into the offside, and we've seen this from William Trigar, just struggling with that delivery on the length and moving away on the offside.
Played that one well, though. Obviously, that's just a dot ball, but didn't look bothered. That's a big sign.
They're going to need to get comfortable in a hurry. Just an over and a half left here in the power play. This one hits straight back to Derville Green. The first sign of anything fuller in length. I'm going to feel like he's missed out. William Trigar, because that was an opportunity with that delivery. Again, with the length it was, an opportunity to send it back down the ground.
Yeah, you saw when Trigar took his first ball against Green. Green had been attacking the feet of the left-handed batters. And Trigar gets out there, and I think he anticipated that on his first ball, and he's got nothing but good length since until that one.
Back to the good length. Big shout, asking, was it high, was it down leg? This is the pressure. Seemed to be the tactic there. Go full, bring the length back, and nearly an LBW for Derville Green.
Another beautiful ball. He's doing everything he's trying to do. This is a tremendous spell.
Well, you see Advait there just talking to his partner. He's like, yeah, that one looked to just jump up and come in and just share smiles. And it feels like that's all you can do right now if you're the Orlando Galaxy. Just sit there and admire what Derville Green is doing. Again, how about this? That's hit the bat real hard, Nate. Not really an opportunity for William Trigar to push through that one.
Yeah, welcome to minor league cricket here, William Trigar. Derville Green, imagine that's your first opponent.
Well, we always talk about your welcome to the NFL moment. That's something that people often say when talking about being new into the league. Well, the man from Jamaica getting William Trigar's journey in minor league going and keeping things very, very tight. A maiden over here in the 5th. The Orlando Galaxy tumbling. It's 15 for 3.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Well, back here at Church Street Park with 1 over to go in the power play. We see our first signs of spin, and we see Jasker Malhotra back. Good to see for the Baltimore Royals, standing in at first slip as Neo Narvekar. He'll start off with the ball. Was good in week 1. Picked up a couple of wickets and was real tidy. Can he pick up the wicket here of Advet? Well, there's one's tucked into the leg side. It's going to be a lot of this for the next couple of overs, Nate, as Orlando looks to rebuild. Just cannot afford to lose another wicket. So I think you're going to see them play pretty conservative shots and just look to tuck it into the pockets in the ground.
And we know Lada is there lurking in the grass, waiting to come in and strike when he gets the ball. We know how dangerous he is, the major leaguer, Sarbjit Lada.
Yeah, again, plenty of spin options. Think about Bipul Sharma as well in this lineup. And then we know what the batting lineup can do when we talk about all the incredible bats. This one down the leg side is going to be wide. It's going to be for Jasker Malhotra. He's back in the field, but you can see hobbling on his way to that one. I think in proper health would have given him a full-out chase. We saw him do it in Major League Cricket with the pads on, but you see him hobbling on that right foot, and a much welcome couple of runs there for the Orlando Galaxy.
Yeah, they basically doubled their total here off of buys. Extras, they have 7. So almost doubled it. But yeah, I mentioned Lada. Narvekar is pretty solid himself.
Sweep comes out from William Trigar. Gets it to that deep mid-wicket fielder, and he's missed fields. They're going to come back for 2. It was going to be a close call for 2, but with the missed field, made it look really easy.
You have to be an opportunist right now if you're Orlando. You've got to look for that. You've got to look for any hesitation in the field, in the deep.
Again, looking to sweep. Again into that same area, to the same fielder. This time, though, fielded well. Keeps it to 1. So something to look at when you're Sarbjit Ludda, who will come into bowl. I would have to assume in the next couple of overs that the right-handed William Trigar is looking to sweep anything that he finds full. And so you can just kind of get him into an LBW position. But for Trigar, looks good for him to finally start to get some runs flowing.
That is a smothering sweep shot.
Pushed into the onside, just straight. Terrific Behera inside the ring. And we'll get to see his exploits with the bat. Wasn't able to see it on day 2. With some back spasm, got out early in day 1 against the Morrisville Raptors. So 2 balls left here in the over. Excuse me, last ball to come here for the Orlando Galaxy. 23 runs, 3 wickets. Jasker Malhotra moved to short third, but then we're going to ask you after this ball who's won the power play, and I don't think this ball will change your answer, as it's probably just going to be a couple of runs. No, a slip from William Trigar. Nate, I'll give you the break to think about it, but 6 overs gone. It's 24 for 3. Who's won this power play?
Oh, my goodness.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Well, Nate, Sarbjit Ludda's in. I'm going to ask you the main question here. Who won the power play? It's 24 for 3 after 6. I know I gave you the break to think about it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. All I did was drink a whole lot of water during the break there, so I didn't really think about it too much. It's, yeah, you know, we don't even have to say. I did say we've seen a lot of power plays like this at Church Street Park. Not as many the last couple seasons, but that first season of minor league, we certainly did.
Well, speaking of seeing a lot of Church Street Park, Sarbjit Ludda will see a lot of Church Street Park, and he's already had a 4-wicket haul here. And he's starting into the left-hander, but the googly is so effective, could just start with it. And hit back. And this is going to be a key matchup, and I like the aggressiveness from Jasker Malhotra. We've seen him at times bring in other spinners and get them a couple of overs before bringing in the major league cricketer from MI New York, Sarabjit Ludda. But to bring him in now, I think is smart while these two batters are still trying to figure things out.
What a weapon to have, though. You can bring him in at any point.
And again, this is what you can take advantage of. You mentioned it's not a completely flat wicket, a couple areas maybe to take advantage of for the bowlers. And for his ability to spin in both directions, and then if you can hit the right spots, the ball can just do a little bit of magic off the wicket. Deep mid-wicket in place, deep cover. Long on, long off. So plenty of areas and opportunities to get one. And there you go, tucked into the leg side. There is a deep backward square. Coming back for two, and they'll get it in the end as well. There's good, sharp running here. And more of this is what's going to be needed from the Galaxy.
Absolutely. You like to see, I think with the Galaxy, whether or not you go on to win this game, of course both teams have to bat on the same wicket, but whether or not you win this game, you really want to see some things that you can build on. This is a very positive-minded team, I think, and they're going to want to have something big to cling on to, and this partnership, they'll want this to go a long ways.
Well, big shout. Sarabjit Ludda loves it, but I think it's high. It's come off the hip, and I think that's what Jessica Malhotra's saying as well. But Nate, nearly as you mentioned, they're going to want to bank on this partnership. It nearly fell straight away. Take another look at the replay. And just probably a little high.
Little bit high. Oof, but deadly.
That's what Sarabjit Ludda is, very deadly. The slips in play too. We haven't seen a googly yet. Could just see one here to finish the over. This one hit straight back to Sarabjit Ludda, unable to get it. Unable to get any runs in front of the wicket here, Nate. Have these two, they've struggled with that. It's been mostly buys. It's been mostly just tucks in behind square leg.
Yeah, they want the extra time to look at the ball, it seems. Fuller deliveries have worked very well.
This one cut into the offside. Chance of run out won't be.
Ooh.
Has that found William Trigar as well? I think it has. That is a dangerous one. It seems like he's okay, the young man, but again, we've already seen Jessica Malhotra pick up a niggle, and you can see the physio coming straight out for William Trigar. That's a scary sign. Never want to see a ball almost clothesline, it felt. Trigar, as he's scampering home for one. That'll end the 7th over, 27 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Sweeps Bipul Sharma to start things off in the air, but lands safely. So we've seen both these batters look to sweep, and Bipul Sharma coming in with ball in hand was very good in the first couple of matches that we saw.
And speaking of those first couple of matches, what kind of an advantage does this give Baltimore that they've already played an entire weekend here at Church Street Park? While this is the very first game for Orlando, obviously these types of things happen. You sometimes get little advantages in the schedule like this, but I think this is definitely one of those times.
No, absolutely. Bipul Sharma would have known how to bowl on this wicket, had an economy of 4.8, and that second match took a wicket as well, and the first match was equally as effective. Sweep again from Shigar. This seems to be an area of liking. He swept better this time into the gap. Malhotra does well there again. Gimpy as he makes that throw. but he'll hold it to just 2.
I think he's gonna be happy with this line against a bowler that turns it away from him, because as you said, he seems very strong with the sweep. Little paddle shot right there.
Yeah, again, you saw Jessica Malhotra on your screen. It's something you're going to want to keep an eye on for the batting. He's come out to open for the Royals. Does his injury affect his spot? And you can see Bipul Sharma with all his experience as well, pulling the length back, and that's going to be the key, I think, when bowling to Trigar. Is he's again looked to that sweep option pretty consistently. Just pulling that length back takes away that scoring opportunity.
Yeah, Bipul there, seeing where the extent of where the boundaries of Williams' sweep are, and he didn't want to take that chance right there. Good job defending that, but he's definitely asking the question.
Tucked shortly, nowhere to really go for William Trigar. But again, this partnership came in with just a run on the board there, Nate, and so they feel pretty good, getting to 30 runs so far here in the 8th over. We've talked about stranger things have happened on this ground, and good fight back. Sweep once again. Fielder in place at deep mid-wicket. We'll keep it to 1. No, they'll get 2 for it. Put it well enough into that gap to find 2. William Trigar showing off maturity beyond his years.
And this guy is coming out of Australia. He is not a pupil of Johnny Sarkhan. These are beautiful sweep shots being played here. He's putting on a clinic. But yeah, I'm just referencing Johnny Khan's incredible sweep ability for the longest time. The best sweep player in the USA.
Oh, well, the sweep has done him in, and Bipul Sharma, a bit of a send-off. That one's found the bottom edge of the bat, and I think William Trigar thinks it's come off the pads. No, that one's definitely come off the bottom of the bat and straight on to the stumps. Try to be a little bit too cute. That one probably could have been another paddle down the leg side, but Bipul Sharma picks up a wicket, and just as we were mentioning, this partnership building, it's broken.
Yeah, there you go, and Bipul Sharma there was something to say. He's never short with words, that's for sure. But yeah, he chopped it right on. There's a little send-off there. Bipul Sharma never is very quiet about what he's got going on.
Well, my goodness, what a way to end the 8th over for the Baltimore Royals. The Galaxy, they're 32 for 4 and all over it. Again, we just talked about how this partnership was building. They were brewing, getting from 1 to 30. Felt like if they could stick in for a little bit of time, this could be a chance to get the score into the triple digits and give yourself a fighting chance. Well, with that wicket, especially if Trigar, who's really getting things going, it's just now have to reset, and you're going to have to reset against 2 or 3 really, really good spinners, and maybe arguably the best spinner in all of minor league cricket, in Sarbjit Ludda.
Right, arguably so. No question, especially, in the South, he probably fairly easily takes the cake, him and Dane, obviously. But, yes, that was something else there.
Well, you saw on that jersey, no, your eyes do not deceive you. It says Beast on the back of that jersey, 260. It's Rohit Dutchin, who's come in with bat in hand, the left-hander. He's a big cog in that middle order. But to start off at the non-strikers end, 2 left-handers, and Sarbjit Ludda still into bowl. I like the aggressive nature from Jessica Malhotra here. Starts flatter, starts shorter. We'll find 1. And so now we got to see our first look at Rohit Dutchin and his exploits. Again, Beast put on his jersey, and why not, for the way he can strike the ball. A strike rate of over 200 across his matches in the USA and through different tournaments. But in minor league cricket, he's someone that the ownership group is really high on. Again, having a word with them, and they feel that Rohit Dutchin is someone who can really affect. Didn't get to play a lot in 2022, was playing different leagues, and then maybe a little bit of a niggle here and there, but going to be a key part of this middle order. And Sarbjit Ludda pulls out. You see Justin Malhotra take off his cap, and it's because on a humid day like this, bugs are flying everywhere. We talk about the strike rate. In 2022, it was 140 in minor league cricket. This one's pushed away, and he has a 50 to his name as well. So this is someone who is able to really be a key factor.
Yeah, and if you're looking at Rohit's stats on Cricket Clubs, definitely search make sure you search for 2022 stats. They haven't tied up this season his profile yet.
Pushed into the offside, and Rohit Dutchin's going to want to make sure everyone remembers his name, whether it's on the scorecard or whether that's because of their watching this live stream. But we've seen some big hits from the Orlando Galaxy in Church Street Park. Think about what Dune Nathaniel did to the commentary box in 2021 at deep backward square, or what would be. Look at that. Look at that delivery from Sarbjeet Ludda. Angling it in, drifting it in, pushing it away. Nate, take a look at the googly.
Beautiful.
And just that drift in and just playing completely inside the line as you would as a left-hander. But my goodness, the Sarbjeet Ludda putting on display, spinning a web.
It's the Mario jump for me.
Well, it's worked for Sarbjeet Ludda. This time, though, Rohit Dutchin gets it into the gap on the offside. They'll pick up a couple of runs, just one, or excuse me, they'll make it two on the way back.
You know, we talk about Dutchin's, prolific strike rate here, but I remember his five-fer with the ball last season. He's good in both in those two aspects of the game for certain. He's a valuable player.
He's a key cog in this Orlando Galaxy attack, but right now he's going to want to give himself something to bowl at, him and the other bowlers, the likes of Matthew Comrie and Dimitri Adams, because at the moment, Baltimore Royals, they're all over it. The projected score of 79 would chase that down. You feel maybe 6-7 overs. Beating the outside edge again is Sarbjeet Ludda. A good over. It comes to a close. 9 overs gone. It's 35 for 4.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Well, Bipul Sharma, will be taken off. And they'll go in the direction of another spinner. Again, plenty of spinners on offer. Bipul took the wicket, has to go, and we'll bring on Pragat Singh. This one's pushed straight back down the ground to bring Rohit Dutchin to the middle. And I think the reason you might see Bipul Sharma go is because you have the two left-handers now in the middle. His left arm orthodox, spinning it back into the left-hander, felt in favor of the right-handed option for Pragat Singh. Look at this. Look at the amount of turn he's getting. Didn't really toss that one up either. Darted it in, angled in, and all Rohit Dutchin could do was just look to defend it, but overspin on the ball as well. Really good start for Pragat Singh. This one, though, pulled into the leg side. Fielder in place. Fielder won't get there. And Fielder, he's made a mess of that one. Don't think quite picked it out of the bat. It'll be 4 runs nonetheless, though, and you'll take it if you're the Beast and the Orlando Galaxy.
This might be just a case of no one's hit the ball out here all day. No one's hit the ball hard in the air out here all day. And suddenly somebody fires us, and a little running in. And yeah, that was a rough one. You gotta stay close in the field. That's tough. Those things do happen.
Hit straight back down the ground. Fielder in place, but won't get there. Hit very, very straight, very, very firmly. The Beast is starting to feast here at Church Street Park, Nate.
Yes, he is. Look at this. All right, boom. Look at that. Just shifting his weight right into that sucker. Straight down the ground. Long delivery shot.
Rohit Dutchin is such a vital cog in the Orlando Galaxy side. And again, we saw him, felt like he was struggling just a couple of deliveries ago. Well, he found the middle of the bat there. Has found consecutive boundaries now. And First boundaries really off the bat, you would say as well. A lot of them coming off of buys. So to get those runs are valuable. Just gives you a little bit of a different mindset, and you see all 4s on the scoreboard. Again, with the way this game started, you had 3 overs gone, 1 run on the board. Your projected score at 92 at the moment. If you can get that to 120, 110 to 120, you give yourself a fighting chance. Straight down the ground, high, and just evading the fielder at long gone. Would have been an exceptional catch out in the deep.
Would have been a great stop. Definitely a good effort there by Behera. Young, athletic, very strong. But how often do you see that? You see someone go a little too short and then come back a little too full, and we just see 2 balls a little too full to the beast.
Well, he went too full, and again, Behera would have had to make an exceptional catch. He'll get 3 consecutive 4s. Cuts well, cuts in the gap. We'll find a 4th consecutive 4. What a finish to the 10th over this is, and the experiment with Pragat Singh hasn't worked. And Rohit Dutchin, he's on full flow.
3 consecutive 4s.
He missed short again that time. Yeah,
cuts well, cuts in the gap. We'll find a 4th consecutive 4.
Well, unwinding right now are the
finish to the
Royals, and again, thanks to what we've seen from Rohit Dutchin coming in already, 18 runs for him. 10 overs have passed. It's 52 for 4. Well, Nate, here at Church Street Park, it's a full family affair. We've seen some of that already, some folks trickling in, and right now Rohit Dutchin is shooting them to some fantastic cricket.
Yeah, it's a great ground here, and the locals, we all appreciate this ground. The reason it's a little bare now, everyone's out playing their own cricket.
This one gets through everybody. Will be at least one, and it will be one there. Navarrete, as he comes back into the attack, and we already mentioned Jaskaran Malhotra not going to be keeping wicket just because of that ankle injury, sitting there at 3rd man at the moment. Well, that one gets through. Ahad Malik. And now Rohit Dutchin, after that flurry of boundaries, where does he go now? Just pushed it away. Again, this is going to be real smart. Already got a bunch of those runs. Push the score up. Don't need to force anything. If he's in there for the next 10 overs, it could be real interesting. Nate hammered, straight down the ground. Going to be 4. Chase given by long off, but just able to clear his foot. And we've already seen the power on full display. The lefty acting like a lefty slugger.
Nate hammered.
What a looks like he does playing a different game than everybody else right now. He's definitely proven to be a handful. You know, we've seen this from him before in minor league cricket. As we've mentioned, he's a consistent performer. He's a big performer for this team. And this is the type of format that one player can really make a massive difference.
No, absolutely. One player can do that indeed. And I was actually playing some cricket with some my little cousins earlier, Adar, Sumed, Nishta, and saw some big lefty hits there. So seeing that travel for me into Church Street Park. Rohit Dutchin doing all the damage. This one's pushed again into the offside. Good comeback there from Navarrete. Much fuller, much quicker.
It's all cricket all the time for you, man.
It's what it's felt like over the past couple of days coming in from Texas. But you got to love it. And you got to love what Rohit Dutchin's put on display for if you're an Orlando Galaxy fan, as this one's kept to 1. He's giving them a fighting chance, Nate.
Yes, he is. He's certainly making this game worth watching right now. And this is what we want. We want this game to go down to the wire. So often does at Church Street Park. Who knows what can happen from here?
This one on the pads. Has the finger gone up? It won't. Advit will survive. He's been on strike. He's been off strike for quite some time. Starts off with a real ripper. That'll end the 11th over, 58 for 4.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, One hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards?
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Steve is not wanting a fan on us.
Well, here we go here, Nate. Something in the card, something special. 11 overs gone. It's 58 for 4 now. In most circumstances, you say, well, it's a game that's pretty much wrapped up. But with Rohit Dutchin in the middle, 23 from 14, 5 fours, striking at 164. It's a whole new ball game as Ravinder Singh will start with ball in hand here for his first over. Flighted, big sweep. That's the delivery. You want to entice the beast to go for that big slog sweep.
The boundaries here are big enough for, a miss hit to really benefit the bowling team.
This time stays back, cuts. Has he found the gap? Will find the field around the deep for 1. And again, bring back Advait Varadarajan. 13 off 20, but he's done his job, it's felt like, since coming in. Didn't lose his wicket and just kept things stable at one end.
Good things happen when you stick around. Just kind of waiting for someone to show up and take the bull by the horns like Dutchin has done.
Comes down the track. Should have been. What could have been for the Baltimore Royals? Was that an opportunity? It's kept to just 1. I wonder if there's an edge. I want to wait for the umpire's signal here. And it looks like it is runs off the bat. So it was the outside edge. Didn't just go through Ahad Malik, so he'll be relieved about that.
Definitely sounded like a noise, but this is the trick we were talking about when you lose your primary wicketkeeper and someone has to fill in because your wicketkeeper's injured. This type of thing happens a little more frequently. And obviously we have Advait in the middle right now batting with Orlando. He himself is a keeper, so if this sort of thing happened to Orlando with Meetul, you got to think they'd be in a little bit of a better spot. Obviously, then the Royals are, as far as the keeping goes.
When you take a look at this, it definitely comes off that outside edge there. And again, we've talked about the keeping extensively for the Royals, and not much to complain about that time. As Jessica Malota saying there, short cover. You mentioned it earlier. Much easier standing maybe at short cover than it is standing behind the stumps. This one tickled into the offside. Chance of a run out won't be. And that'll do it for the end of the 12th over. It's 62 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Sorry, one delivery left, and it's a wide, so we'll have one more delivery to follow this one. This one run into the offside, no single on offer, and now it'll close out the 12th over, 61 for 4.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Well, Church Street Park, it brings out the fans. You can see two of the most loyal fans on your screen who sat next to us last week as our tent was moved just in that direction. Again, you see more and more trickling in and enjoying the cricket. Again, that's the beauty of Church Street Park, the hill. It's a great place to sit on and watch cricket. Again, love to see the community come out, and more should come out as the sun comes down. And here we go. More to come here for the Baltimore Royals in the form of Shami Gotra. Starts well on the pads. It's going to be one through leg buys, but Shami Gotra has been really good since being inserted into 11. Remember, didn't play last week in favor of Keon Joseph, but today picked in the side and proved his worth straight away, bowling 2 overs, a maiden involved, 6 runs given up, a wicket as well. Comes down the track, bowled him. Sammy Gotra, take a bow. It's been all you all day long. And that one again, just getting through the defenses. And that is the end of Advait Varadarajan. And the 5th wicket falls for the Orlando Galaxy.
On the bright side, if there is one, you still have Dutchin in the middle. But yes, look at that. Beautiful length. Just gets through right there. Not sure. Not really an option there where that ball was pitching, what the batter was trying to do. Not really a whole lot he could have do.
Yeah, we've seen Gotra's ability to adjust to the batter's movement very, very early, and you've seen a couple of times when the batters do look to a charge or advance down the ground, him able to cramp them for room, pull his length back, and he did that just then. His neighbor was trying to join back, was trying to get some photos, and I'm sure you would have loved that on the camera as well, but it looked great as the Zing Bales lit up, and the Orlando Galaxy wouldn't have wanted to see that as Hardik Desai walks out into the middle to join Rohit Dutchin, another experienced member of this side.
Yeah, I had just left the commentary area for just a second to take a couple of photos, sat down, missed the flying bales, at least from my camera, but what a ball there.
What a ball indeed. And again, for Hardik Desai now and Rohit Dutchin, they're going to need to do a lot of hard work to get themselves back into this match. And we saw Rohit Dutchin get things going, but the task doesn't get easier with Sammy Gotra bowling. Not the most welcoming of stars for Hardik Desai as Gotra goes for that Yorker. Not much he could do but fend it out. Nate, we were just talking about how the Orlando Galaxy might be able to claw their way into the triple digits. That's looking more and more out of reach with every passing delivery.
They still have 5 in hand. This particular batter does do a decent job of sticking around.
Well, there you go. There you go, Shami Gotra. We're talking about it being your day. Not even fazed by the wickets falling now. Hardik Desai, it's in and out for him. And the Baltimore Royals, they're keeping the pedal to the metal. 6 wicket falls.
Yeah, we talked about the prolific spin from this team, but today it's been their pace bowling.
The pace bowling indeed, and again, it's just a slight bit of movement. The angle of that delivery there. You'll take a look at it here on the replay. Angling it in. Attacking the stumps, drawing the batter forward, and just that slight movement away. That's what causes the middle pole uproots, and that is the end of the stumps and the end of Hardik Desai. My goodness, we were just talking about how the Orlando Galaxy might have found their way back into this match. Well, the wickets, they're falling in a hurry.
Yeah. And rough 2023 debut so far for Orlando. Surely they would have wanted a better start to their innings. The innings isn't over yet. The game isn't over yet. Anything could happen. Both teams have to bat before the game's done.
Well, it'll bring out the new bat, Hoyito Leslie, who'll be making his debut for the Orlando Galaxy, and a lot will be put on his plate again in a debut match. It's, I believe, his first match in minor league cricket as well. So a lot left to do here for Hoyito and the rest of the side. But again, don't take any of the focus away from Shemi Gotra. He's got 3 wickets here in his 3rd over. Just giving up 6 runs, has a maiden there as well in this Baltimore side that lost their 2nd game last week. They're looking for vengeance. And those deliveries, it's those deliveries. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to write a book about how to bowl pace in a T20 format, watch this innings here from Shemi Gotra. He's varied the line, varied the length. And look at the movement off the wicket, coming back in, darting back in. This is classy stuff from Shemi Gotra. Again, not a welcome sight for Hoyito Leslie. He's just trying to find his way here as he's just entered the middle.
That late movement is really doing people in, as it does.
This one, though, cream through the covers. It's gone through. Well, how about this? Through everything and the kitchen sink at that delivery, and takes a little bit of the momentum out of the end of that over. Take a look at this shot, Nate, through the covers.
Terrific, brave shot, considering what we've seen transpire the last several balls. But nice inside out there, right through the covers. Beautiful.
Well, I know Brian Walters is going to be a fan of that, where he is hopefully watching from the Texas area. Has plenty of cricket to look at in his own right, but he was talking to me the other day about how any shot by a lefty just looks to be the best shot out there, and so he's going to love a cover drive by a left-hander to end the 13th over. It's 67 for 6. But, you know, now, Nate, for you, if you're the Orlando Galaxy, what's the mantra? Is it, okay, let's make it to 20, or is it we're going to play our strokes and look to score?
Yeah, I think you need to put more on the board than they're putting on the board right now. So the question is, what honestly, you know, starting the season, there's only 10 games this season before the playoffs. Your question, you got to start asking yourself, do we see ourselves as a playoff team? I think that's how you answer this, how you go forward here. You know, because run rate matters.
So what's the answer? If you do see yourself as a playoff team here, Nate, what would you do? Are you looking to block out and just play for 20 overs? If there's a loose ball, hit it, or are you looking to go in scores or in their? I
think you got to back your bowlers. Try to put 110 on the board.
Big swipe. It's going to be a well wide delivery, but looks like there's no taming the beast here. Rohit Dutchin, he was looking to go hard, looking to go big over the offside. Didn't really matter that there is a deep cover in place. Deep cover, deep backward square, deep mid-wicket. Long on, long off. Big shout, big shout. Maybe look to be a little bit subdued, but this is good pressure. You can see on the replay here, Nate. What's your take?
That's a really good ball. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a really good ball. That's a tough call. But yeah, I think as long as Dutchin is out there, you can kind of take the balance of the approach. You can kind of just let Dutchin play, see what you get out of it. As long as he's out there, you can do a little bit of both.
Make some room, hits it through the covers, fielder there.
And he dropped it.
Unable to take it. Would have been an absolute blinder. It won't be 4 runs. Really good effort by Derval Green out in the deep. Again, if he were to take that one, you'd argue catch of the tournament. That running in, diving forward. Can just take a second look.
Those are fun catches, but they're very hard to make, especially coming down on your elbows.
Sweep, big sweep. Misses out on it. Look to go reverse there and complete switch hit. Misses everything on the way through. But Rohit Dutchin, again, has shown no signs of looking to play through 20. He's looking to just score. Maybe that's the word that Leslie's just having with Dutchin there, is just, hey, don't need to hit every ball down the ground. We still have 7 overs to play, 6 overs to play after this. Goes into the leg side, in the air, through the hands. That's a drop.
Ooh.
That's going to be 4. It's going to be 4. Disappointment through the Baltimore Royals. sat there, asked to be taken. Really no excuse on this one here, Nate.
Yeah, we've seen some not so great fielding here from the Baltimore team, which is something I said was kind of a weakness of theirs.
This one into the leg side, quick single taken, quick single gotten. And I think that's more of a, all right, Rohit, I'm going to get you off strike from Hoyito there. Just trying to save his partner almost after nearly 2 opportunities to get out that were both put down, one harder than the other. But Leslie, I think, just wanted to see out the rest of Ravinder. Good delivery, really good delivery. Change the length. It's the flight through the air. It's the length that he's bowling. It's been really phenomenal here. The end of 14 overs is 75 for 6.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Well, Nate, how about this? Seeing that he could give up the gloves, Captain Jaskar Malhotra looks to bring himself on with the ball. You mentioned that, he's someone who has bowled in minor league cricket, whether it be with the Morsel franchise last year with Baltimore. But now seeing that, hey, I don't have the gloves on. Feels good enough to bowl here to Rohit Dutchin. Well, how about that? Straight away, big shout into the crowd towards the dugout. Was quick through the air, angling it back in. And some words to a look on the face there. After seeing Rohit Dutchin drop twice, look at that. Look at the passion, how much that wicket means to Malhotra.
Yeah, very first ball. It makes me wonder, though, has Dutchin seen Malhotra bowl? Because we kind of knew this was coming, this particular delivery, this particular style of bowling from Malhotra.
Well, it is a stock ball, you'd feel, on a length, quick into the batter, especially one who likes to free his hands. It's just smart bowling that from Jaskar Malhotra.
That ball's coming 5 out of 6 times from Jaskar. Anybody who's seen him bowl.
Well, that's big time. That's exactly what's needed.
Just the arm ball there from Jaskar. He likes to bowl that. He loves bowling that style. Quicker, quick little run up there.
Yeah, again, Jaskar Malhotra, he wouldn't tell you that he's the most skilled bowler in the world, but just understands the angles, understands how to use different situations. As we see Sumit Sarawat come in with bat in hand, and Sumit is going to have a lot of work to do for his side, and Jaskar Malhotra changing the angle. Like we said, not going to wow you with the different types of deliveries, but it's going to wow you with the understanding of angles, changing things up,
yes,
and keeping the batters uncomfortable. That's his style of bowling, Jaskar Malhotra.
And now we've got a righty batter, which is definitely he's licking his chops about. He likes this. He likes bowling across a righty with that quicker arm ball. He really enjoys doing that, especially here at Church Street Park. Ooh.
Starts off, like you mentioned, quick, running across, unable to get there, but he'll bring out the lefty. And honestly, with the way he's bowling, I think there's still, the ball seems to be new, still seems to be some sideways movement. I think with the way he bowls his deliveries, I think at this particular moment would prefer bowling to a lefty with the way he's able to bring it back inside.
Yeah, he's getting good movement on it, and he does tend to get good movement on it. But yeah, you're right. Especially we've seen the fuller deliveries work well today with the quicker bowling.
Well, you can see, I think the plan is to be straighter because he's moved his wide third into a more conventional position inside the ring. This one, nearly. You could hear the sound. You can hear the cries here from Jaskar Malhotra because he wants it. He wants to be amongst the wickets. Just likes to affect the game.
Yeah,
Malhotra.
He loves bowling. And he loves bowling in situations like this where the team is, their opponent is down and out, and he feels like he can just take them out of the game. And he dropped down a little bit there, like a funny Samhadri style. Let's see.
Pull the length back. Really good. Again, it's just his ability to understand the angles and the different types of deliveries. Isn't going to do a lot with, the one going the other way, the one turning well far back, and any of that. It's just this in the air. It's in the gap. Well played by Leslie, and they'll come back for a second off a missed field. You mentioned earlier, Nate, a touch sloppy in the field of the Baltimore Royals. Allow them to come back for 2.
And this is their 3rd game in a row at this ground. And, I think if I were Baltimore, I'd be worried about their fielding. This is one of the best grounds to field at in the country, especially in this on the East Coast, on the entire East Coast. The outfield is what people tend to rave about here.
Angled in, hit straight back, fielder in place. We'll keep it to just 1. A good over for Jasker Malhotra in his first. Got the big wicket of Rohit Dutchin, the beast. He was pulled down to end the 15th over. It's 79 for 7.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Well, a new bowler coming in, but a similar face. Sarbjeet Ladda bowled his first 2 overs from the Cedar Fork end of the ground. Will now come back from the Shiloh Grove end of it. Pulling into the left-hander. I think that's a big reason why Jasker Malhotra elected to take him off. The way Rohit Dutchin was striking, a lefty as well. Would like the ball coming back into him. But now with the left-handed Leslie in and Dutchin gone, Malhotra's turn to Sarbjeet Ladda. And bowled him straight away. How about this? Sarbjeet Ladda straight away gets a wicket. It just tailed a little bit more inside, was looking to run it down. That's the difference. Didn't play with the full face. Haido Leslie, and after a couple of nice cover shots, has to go.
Yeah, I think this is what they saw. I think they saw that inside-out drive, and they wanted it to try to tempt Haido Leslie here to play it, and he tried to open it up. Just went right onto the stumps there. This is a lot of ball right here.
Sarbjeet Ladda, again, we talked about maybe the best spinner in all the country. You would have to say the best spinner in the South, maybe alongside Dane Pete. But this is a guy as a wrist spinner you feel very confident in. And you mentioned earlier, what a weapon to have in your back pocket for Jasker Malhotra whenever you need him, whether it's the power play, whether it's right after, whether it's in the death. He's someone who can come in and you feel confident giving him the ball, and he'll be able to take some wickets. As we see, the under 21 coming in with bat in hand. Matthew Comrie, a leggy of his own, so have a little leggy battle there.
Right.
He'll be in his 3rd year with the Orlando Galaxy.
A youngster, always learning. He's improved every season in minor league cricket, which is something we love to see and we'd love to point out is when the young players continue to improve. He had such a great season last year, Comrie. And yeah, he'll be taking notes here. You gotta bet. He's got to have a lot of respect for Ladda.
Well, right now he's got to be able to take Ladda to the cleaners, score some runs off him. Just tucks it off his legs. Quick call for 1. And you can see it there. A little bit of movement on the crease as well for Matthew Comrie, as he was just uncertain with his feet, looked to maybe come forward, then stayed. So just trying to take Ladda off his line.
Kind of got a gift there too to get off strike with that ball.
Yeah, something on his legs, if that delivery had been maybe just a couple of yards back, could have been a very different tail. But now brings back Sarawat. Big swipe, nearly. That's what Sarbjeet Ladda can do. He'll tempt you to play that shot, and again, still a lot of ground to cover, even if you connect. But you open that risk up. That was inches away from the off pole.
Say what? Really took a hack at that one. That was a big hack.
This one tucked off the legs. Very interesting way to tuck it off the legs as well. Will find 1 for his efforts. Was the Orlando Galaxy continue to crawl their way towards the triple digits.
Yeah, that was nice there. Getting an off strike. Went on his back foot and had to cover his ankles with the bat on that one.
Looks to be comfortable on that back foot as well. Just the way that bat came down. Felt to be in full control.
Clausen-esque.
Good delivery. Gets away from Malhotra first slip, but no run on offer for Matthew Comrie. And again, you don't want to see too many deliveries of Sarbjeet Ludda, especially as a bowler. You're not a batter, and the way he's spinning it right now, again, a champion of Major League Cricket will be high on confidence from that tournament, working with all those coaches and the internationals like Rashid Khan. Really no better tool to enhance your game. And defended away to close out the 16th over. Sarbjeet Ludda gets his man in it. It's 81 for 8.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
We talked about a new bowler, but a familiar face. Bipul Sharma back with the ball in hand. Bowling into two right-handers. Makes sense as to why he's back. Another big hack, another big swipe. He's played that twice now. He's got to be careful. If you're Sarawat, you're looking to play throughout the innings now with the final 4 overs in hand. Not looking for a couple of runs, and that's why. That's the danger. One too many, third time. Lucky for the Baltimore Royals. Sarawat has played that same swipe across the line on 2 previous occasions. This time, it cost him his wicket.
Yeah, we've seen this big hack from him multiple times so far, and he's just kind of gotten lucky to not get out until now.
Yeah, again, third time, couldn't get lucky. Talk about third time's the charm for the Baltimore Royals there, and Bipul Sharma knew exactly what he was doing after seeing that first delivery as well. Was a little bit shorter, but did entice it, then said, all right, I'll flight it up a little bit more, make you think you have it, and that was all she wrote for the end of Sarawat there, as we see Devashree Patel come in with bat in hand now to join Matthew Comrie. Again, another bowler, Devashree Patel.
Looks like he bowls from the left side. Youngster here. Let's see what he can do with the bat. A lot of the young guys get pushed to the end there of the batting order, but as you can see, some fans enjoying themselves, relaxing on the bleachers along the northwest end of the ground.
It's gotten considerably cooler here, Nate, it's felt, in the past maybe 10 or so minutes.
Which is great.
What's not great right now for the Orlando Galaxy is how good Bipul Sharma is bowling. Just making things really, really difficult.
And as I mentioned, a lot of the youngsters in minor league cricket get pushed to the tail. So let's see what Devashree Patel has with the bat, what he's capable of. A lot of times the young guys are really pretty good at rotating, strike, and because of their, youthful legs and all that.
Another swipe. Can't be doing that. Devashree Patel, you've got to see how Sarawat got out. You've got to learn from it. That's going to be the key for these bowlers. It's, again, about playing to 20. It's not about scoring that one boundary, because then if you score a boundary, maybe, but you open up risk to get out, and if you leave 12 balls on the board, you miss out on 12 opportunities to score. Bipul Sharma, all that experience, all that class. When we talk about missing out on opportunities to score, the Orlando Galaxy have been bowled out here in the 17th over, Nate. Still 3.2 overs to go, 20 deliveries left, and a terrific ball angle towards the leg stick, and just played all around it.
Once again, it's those Fuller deliveries. He went on the back foot there. That was the wrong choice. But yeah, they've been undone several times by Fuller deliveries at the stumps.
Well, there you go. That's the first innings there. The Baltimore Royals clinical with their bowling. When we talk about the batting card, there's really not much to look at beyond Rohit Dutchin, 32 from 25 with 6 fours, but we saw William Chagar hit a couple of nice sweep shots, Nate. You would have enjoyed that, and Advait Varadarajan able to stick in for a bit, but beyond that, no runs to be found. How about this, Nate? Let's take a look at the bowling card here. Derval Green, 3 overs, a maiden, 3 runs, 2 wickets. Sammy Gotra, 3 overs, 1 maiden, 10 runs, 3 wickets. Sarbjit Ludda, 3 overs, 8 runs and a wicket. Bipul Sharma, 1.5 overs, 3 wickets to his name, giving up 5 runs. And Jaskar Malhotra with the 1 over, 4 runs and a wicket. This bowling card only featured 3 bowlers who didn't take a wicket, and it was real clinical throughout.
8 bowlers used, 11 batters used. This is the most democratic game that we've had so far. Everybody plays, and it's just the first innings.
Well, the Baltimore Royals will be hoping for a real monarchy of a finish, hoping not to lose any wickets when they go into chase down 82. Don't go anywhere. Join us right back here at Church Street Park, where we'll get to see the Baltimore Royals and their chase. Comes in for the first delivery. And pulled into the leg side will be the first runs for the Orlando Galaxy. We'll just get one of them.
First game.
There you go, edge. Was it taken? Has this been a terrific catch by Jaskar Malhotra? He's holding up the glove, and yeah, walking away is Nasir Ahmed. Park. Another big shout given this time. Dimitri Adams is saying there might have been bad, but this could have been pad, then the bat involved. This one brilliantly struck into the offside. That's going to be 4 more. More confident looking stroke there, more confident looking 4. Batting lineup can do when we talk about all the incredible bats. This one down the leg side is going to be wide. It's going to be 4. Jaskar Malhotra, he's back in the field, but you can see hobbling on his way to that one. I think in oh, well, the sweep has done him in, and Bipul Sharma, a bit of a send-off. That one's found the bottom edge of the bat, and I think William Chagar thinks it's come off the pads. No, that one's definitely come off the bottom of the bat and straight on to the stumps. Really good start for Pragat Singh. This one, though, pulled into the leg side. Fielder in place. Fielder won't get there. And Fielder, he's made a mess of that one. Hit straight back down the ground. Fielder in place, but won't get there. Hit very, very straight, very, very firmly. The beast is starting to feast here at Church Street Park, Nate. Fighting chance. Straight down the ground, high, and just evading the fielder. At long gone. Catch. He'll get 3 consecutive 4s. Cuts well. Cuts in the gap. We'll find a 4th consecutive 4. What a finish to the 10th over. If he's in there for the next 10 overs, it could be real interesting. Nate hammered straight down the ground. Gonna be 4. Chase given by. Comes down the track. Bowled him. Sammy Gotra, take a bow. It's been all you all day long. Well, there you go, Sammy Gotra. We're talking about it being your day, not even phased.
As it does.
This one, though, creamed through the covers. It's gone through, well, how about this? Through everything and the kitchen sink at that delivery, and takes a little bit of the momentum out of it after this. Goes into the leg side, in the air, through the hands. That's a drop.
Ooh.
That's going to be 4. It's going to be 4. Disappointment through the Baltimore Royals. Is good enough to bowl here to Rohit Dutchin. Well, how about that? Straight away, big shout into the crowd towards the dugout. Was quick through the air, angling it back. Malhotra's turn to Sarbjit Ludda. And bowled him straight away. How about this? Sarbjit Ludda straight away gets a wicket. It just tailed. 4 overs in hand. Now looking for a couple of runs, and that's the danger. 1 too many, 3rd time. Lucky for the ball. 12 balls on the board. You miss out on 12 opportunities to score. Bipul Sharma, all that experience, all that class. When we talk about missing out on opportunities. So we'll welcome you back to Church Street Park. And here at Church Street Park, my goodness me, did the Baltimore Royals take some real damage and do some real damage with ball in hand. As we look across the other games in the league, we have some high-scoring affairs. This one, not one of those. It's 81 for 8 is what the Orlando Galaxy got, so 82. That's what you're going to need if you're the Baltimore Royals and you got plenty of batting. They're going to open with 2 members who have represented the USA T20 team. Hrithik Behera, of course, making his debut against Ireland in 2021 in Fort Lauderdale, where we saw the India-West Indies play earlier today, and a terrific opening partnership there. And, of course, Jaskar Malhotra, best known for the 6 sixes he hit. The world record at batting in the position he did, scoring 170-plus not out. A lot of work to be done for the Orlando Galaxy. They'll start with Sumit Sarawat, who will have to get early inroads if they want any piece of this. I'm Aman Patel. I'm joined by Nate Hayes. Thank you all for joining us at Church Street Park. Nate, Hrithik Behera's on strike. We'll see how Sumit starts. But you have to imagine the Baltimore Orioles, there's really no urgency. It's just about taking those singles and batting for a long period of time. First delivery starts well.
Yeah, and this is a good opportunity for Ritwick to just dig in and go a long ways. And hopefully, we've seen he's a young player. He's got a tremendous amount of upside. He's very strong. In that 2021 U19 team, he's certainly the most physically mature member of that team in terms of just physical power and size. And he had a chance even with the USA men's team.
Well, good start here from Sumit Sarawat. Again, we mentioned the length that Derville Green was bowling. We saw movement away, so it seems to have continued into the second innings. And something to notice on the scorecard, Nate, apart from, 2 dismissals, all bowled. The poles were uplifted out of the ground, apart from 2 of the wickets. This one pushed through third man, and that would be the first run. So I'm not going to say it's everything to do because the wicket is uneven.
Right.
But you've definitely seen the ball do something off of the surface. Some bad shots included in that, but there's definitely something off the surface for the bowlers.
They were all full balls, too. All of the balls taking the stumps up were full. There wasn't anything that was short that went low in that mix. So, a lot of ball in the air movement here. Sarawat has to be a little bit excited about, coming into bowl on this after seeing what he saw, in spite of the hole that they're in.
Starting off really well. Quick single, though, gone. And this is what's going to be needed here throughout the innings for the Baltimore Royals. They don't really need anything more than this. And we've seen Malhotra already this season place a smart innings in that first matchup against the Morse Raptors where he scored 50. Again, wasn't the vibrant, expressive hitter that we've grown accustomed to knowing, but more so stuck in, played a real smart innings for his side to see them over the line. And so you should expect something similar here today. This one hit straight back. Really nicely done by Hrithik Behera. It's what he's able to do. Go over the top of the offside. We'll find the first boundary for the Baltimore Royals.
As a fan of USA Cricket, here it is again, over pitch there, just a beautiful shot right over the circle. But as a fan of USA Cricket, we got to see Hrithik Behera represent USA down in Ireland, and he didn't come off, but just being selected at his age for a T20 series against a team like Ireland is exceptional. So seeing him playing shots like that as a fan of USA, it's got to be exciting. I know it is for me.
That one just fetching at it a little too far. But, yeah, very exciting. The talent that Hrithik Behera is and the Royals, they'll be excited with that start. 1 over gone at 6 without loss.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Well, we'll come back here to Church Street Park. Devashri Patel, the left arm seamer. He'll start it off from the Cedar Fork end of the ground. We'll be starting in to Royal Captain Jaskran Malhotra. Starts off on the legs and nowhere to go here. And again, for the Baltimore Orioles, they'll be happy with the start they've gotten off to in this 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. Again, a win in their opening match. Didn't quite get it done in match 2, but the way they've bounced back with the ball here on the second weekend, they would have felt really happy about that.
Yeah, I do think obviously they need some work on their fielding. Haven't been impressed by that yet. But I'm excited here to see this left arm fast bowler.
Starting off really nicely, just finding second slip, 2 slips in place, and I like the aggressiveness here from the Orlando Galaxy. You're going to have it. You're going to be searching for wickets. You know you're not going to defend 81 runs by just bowling dot balls. And again, just watch for Jaskran Malhotra's right foot. The ball did find the back of it, the heel, the Achilles area, and he was struggling with moving out in the field. So just something to keep an eye of when he's running between the wickets or while he's batting. This one looked to make a little bit of room. Following him was Patel. No run. Good start for Devashri Patel.
Excellent start here. I'm enjoying this youngster's bowling. I gotta find out his exact age. But we see some talking and some chatter in the field here from Orlando. In spite of the tall task ahead of them, the unlikelihood that they'll defend this, they're still chattering. They're still supporting each other, and that's what you absolutely need to see. That you don't have any chance at all to win unless you have excellent fielding efforts here.
Well, Justin Malhotra tying his shoes, but you're absolutely right there, Nate. Even if you have 81 runs on the board, low total, if you come out with a lack of aggression, a lack of urgency, a lack of camaraderie, you're never going to see your side over the line. Give yourself a chance. Not saying that because that they're fired up and they're in the face of the Royals that they're going to win the game, but because of the fact that you have that intensity, you have that desire and that will to fight, just gives you another chance. This one, Yorksham moved it into the covers. Will find one. Thought about 2 for a moment.
Yeah, you have to think with Jaskaran favoring his leg a little bit. That's why he gave the gloves up last innings. You got to think he won't be eager to run for a lot of 2. And honestly, there'll be no need for that as long as they play smartly.
Rithvik Behera, someone to keep your eye on. We already talked about his innings. As you take a look at our sponsors, it wouldn't be possible without Sunoco and Lakshmi Dafa News. This one finds the outside edge. We'll get through the infield. Third man in place to keep it to just 1. But mentioning Rithvik Behera, has been in good nick throughout different tournaments around the country and locally. I was told that by a social media manager for the Baltimore Orioles, Dale Hans, and said look for some big innings from Rithvik Behera. So after being unable to play in match 2 with back spasms, getting out early in match 1, he's going to look for a really solid innings here with a low total on the board just to get himself into this 2023 season.
And social media manager, he's so much more than that too.
The rising young star is Dale Hans. As this one, a single taken by the 2 stars in the middle. 2 overs gone. It's 9 without loss.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Welcome you back here to Church Street Park. Justin Malhotra on strike again. See number 4 there. Former Malhotra again would have been very aware of Church Street Park and how it plays, playing for the Marshall franchise in year 1. Sarawat to continue, starts on the legs, and it's worked away to bring Rithik Behera back on to strike.
You absolutely need wickets right now if you're Orlando. I mean, that goes without saying, but you're going to need them sooner rather than later, especially, as you mentioned, Jaskaran, a lot of familiarity with this ground. Jaskaran, a USA player, a veteran of USA cricket, well-known USA player, he scored 6 sixes in an over in international ODI cricket.
Comes down the track, and again, well watched from Sarawat. Chance of a run out won't be it. Dimitri Adams putting his all on the line there, but we've just seen this consistently from the Royals. No real desire to do anything extra, just looking to pushing it into areas for 1.
Yeah, no need to hurry, as you mentioned. Of course, we know this is a difficult division. You got teams here that people are already favoring for the playoffs, the 2 Atlanta franchises.
Absolutely, and so it does also bring into consideration of run rate. It's going to play a factor. How quickly are the Royals eyeing this target? Comes down the track, pulls it into the leg side. No fielders out there, will land safe, and will run all the way to the boundary for 4. So the first real signs of aggression for Jaskaran Malhotra as he'll pick up his first boundary of the day.
Taking advantage of this power play limitations. Jaskaran just sees a ball that he can take up and over, and he doesn't hesitate. Skips down, so you think that a little quicker of a ball there would have given him some trouble, but he's not fazed by it.
Yeah, I think he was just ready for that length from Sarawat. We saw Behera come down to him a couple balls ago and bowl that same length. It was just a line favoring the legs of Malhotra. And so with it going down the leg side, very ready to pull it to a vacant leg side area. Again, down the track, this time on the stumps, misfield. Can't do that if you're the Orlando Galaxy. And just a steady jog for 1. Probably could have pushed for 2. Could the Royals, but settle for the 1. Again, this could be a huge win in terms of seeding here for the Baltimore Royals. If you can get this in 10 overs, that net run rate is going to jump through the roof. And now, as you're tied with the Marshall Raptors, just under sitting at number 2.
Yeah, you got to be looking at this if you're the Raptors and saying, just put up a fight. Come on, Orlando.
Tucked into leg side, run taken, run gotten. You see the fielders pretty deep on the ring for the Orlando Galaxy, and maybe with how the ease of singles being taken, could see a little bit more staggering the field mid-wicket up, and then just inviting them to take the extra bit of risk of chipping and then closing that single. I think to see some staggering in the field here from Orlando might be what's required to plug up some of these singles.
Right, you really got to go all out. You need results, and you need them quick. Got to put pressure on the batter somehow.
Well, pressure like that, it's a good ball. Got Malhotra defend at it, moving away outside the off stump to close out the 3rd over. 3 overs gone at 17 without loss.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Well, here we go. Behera facing Patel, and Patel starting off really well. Nate, you were really excited to see this young talent on display coming into today's match, and see what he's doing, moving it away from the right-hander. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, good stuff from Dev. I'm excited to see this. It's fun to watch fast bowling here in the South. We have some very good fast bowlers around the South, and obviously you need them in your team.
Pushed into the offside just to short cover. Getting a good start. You've seen Patel be fuller, and that's where we saw a lot of the wickets fall in the Royals bowling innings, and trying to replicate that, trying to find an edge maybe as well. 2 slips in play. A genuine first slip and more of a wide third or a gully. This one hit into the leg side. Is it going to be out? It's just over the top of the infield. It was a possible chance. It'll be 4. Nasir Ahmed unable to take that one. A near opportunity for the Orlando Galaxy.
Definitely not an easy one, but he got a late read on this ball. It's you don't see it right there, but he came in just a half a step, and then he had to resort to the back pedal there.
Yeah, but those chances are gonna come begging, and have to take him for the Galaxy. Can't leave anything on the field. We already saw the Royals drop a couple of catches, and probably could have restricted the total under 70 had those been taken. This one deemed wide there from the umpire, but you can see the ploy from Patel to push it across the right-handed Behera. But Nate, again, those chances are going to be ever so vital if the Galaxy want any chance in this one.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, and I mentioned, he misread that a half a step or a full step on that miss back then, but I'll talk about it in a second.
Again, pulled into the leg side. They'll take that single into that gap.
Yeah, when you're trying to cut off singles, you're going to be walking in. You're walking in anyways usually when you're coming in from the circle, but you're going to be walking in with the idea of intercepting balls and trying to cut singles off. That's the mentality. It's kind of the cost when you're walking in. Sometimes the ball you could otherwise maybe make that instant drop step to, you don't really get the chance. You're more likely to make a misstep forwards than you are if you're kind of in a more athletic pose and not in the middle of walking in.
Well, we're going to see Patel back in. Keeper up to the stumps. It's wide, and really sharp work done behind the stumps there with the gloves. It's not coming off slowly from Patel there. It's quick off the surface. So collects it well. I think he's just trying to keep the batters rooted is the plan here. A lot like we see with Aditya Padala and the Morso Raptors. Coming up to the stumps to keep batters rooted, and leads to a lot of wickets for Padala. And so we'll see if a similar ploy works for the Galaxy. Hit in the air. It's through the offside. It's going to land safely. Fielder will come around to keep it to just 1.
Yeah, you say there the keeper with the keeper up, definitely trying to keep the batter from coming down the ground there. Now, Dev looks like he's got some decent pace to him. This is a credit to Mitul's keeping, if you ask me.
Yeah, been impressive behind the stumps here is Mitul Patel. Interesting sound off the bat. It'll get through the infield. They'll find a couple of runs. They'll find 2 of them. It's a great way for the Royals to keep the scoreboard ticking and to end that 4th over. At the end of the 4th over, it's 27 without loss.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Well, welcome you back to Church Street Park, where the Baltimore Orioles just 55 runs away from victory. As the third over will be given to Sarawat. And he's bowled well. He's been operating at around an off stump and on a length. And you take a look at the scoreboard there, Nate. You see a 0 in the wicket column. The Royals would hope that there's a couple more by the end of the power play.
And this 24 runs by Baltimore after, you know, in the fourth over here, that's in the fifth over. Yes, sorry, in the fifth over here is exactly the same as Orlando had in the entire power play.
Down the leg side, well down the leg side. Malhotra's going to feel he probably could, if he would have connected any bit of it, it's going for 4, but free runs are free runs, and we mentioned this earlier, Nate. You talked about how loaded this Southern Division is. The likes of Udmukchan joining the Atlanta Lightning, Funny Samhadri. We already know the Atlanta Fire with the likes of Steven Taylor, Aaron Jones, now Obis Pinar over there as well. You know those two teams are going to be formidable. To get your run rate up, it just keeps you in the playoff conversation. Down the track, misses it all together. We saw this from Sarawat, his ability to adjust the length, and then also think about similarly in the first innings from Shami Gotra, who did something similar to batters who were looking to advance.
Yeah, and Jaskaran is really looking to advance. Like this is a shot that he does like to do this, and he's done it quite a bit tonight.
Look at Mitul Patel. Saw the advancement and says, I'm coming up to the stumps. Malhotra's going to have to operate from within his crease now. And look at this, really well done. They'll get that single, though. This is what the Baltimore Orioles have done, and this is what I was talking about. Maybe staggering the field. Maybe that short cover fielder really pressed up against the wicket, making them push into pockets, and that's where you can get edges. But if you allow them to just single-double their way, they'll be done in about 10 overs time.
Right. Yeah, and the longer these two stay here, the shorter that chase is going to be. Because they'll single and double it for now.
Well, for Behera, Mitul Patel back. So see if Behera attacks. Stays in his crease, well bowled. And there you go. You saw the adjustment for short cover. Moves a little bit closer to the wicket. And again, family affair here at Church Street Park. We're seeing more and more kids trickle in, more and more families trickle in, and that's led to some ice cream being trickled in as well here, Nate. So if you're watching the game, Church Street Park, you want some ice cream, head on down.
There's a conversion van driving through, selling ice cream. This is pretty smart of them. They've been paying attention a little bit to the local scene, I think.
This one down the leg side. Did it clip a bit of pad on the way through? There was a noise. No wide given. Much to the disbelief of Malhotra and Behera, but I think there was a noise. At least it sounded like a noise. I think probably a bit of pad on the way through.
Absolutely was some noise. The question is, was that the bat on the pad coming through, or was it the ball on the pad on the back side of the batter, which is what it looked like it was. Again, these are difficult things to tell. Everything happens so quickly.
Well, a dot ball to close out the fifth over. 5 overs are gone. It's 29 without loss.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Well, for the Orlando Galaxy, they're going to need to look to some experience to get rid of these two campaigners in the middle. It looks like they're going to turn to Dimitri Adams, who's got ball in hand. And Nate, we would have seen Dimitri as a member of the Empire State Titans in 2021, 2022 member of the Orlando Galaxy, and now back with the team. As you see, the Patel family staggered on to the left hand of your screen there. Circling in, joining in the action here at Church Street Park.
Yes, we have seen Dimitri quite a bit here at Church Street. He loves coming here. He's a very good cricketer.
Starts on the legs.
Can do a little bit of everything. Good with the ball, good in the field, really good team guy. Steady with the bat.
Well, needs to be explosive here with the ball. Needs to get through Jaskran Malhotra. Sweep comes out. Fielder out there. Will just be one bounce to him. Nearly a chance for the Orlando Galaxy. They'll feel disappointed that it didn't carry. But the plan worked. Attacking the legs. We know Malhotra is a big fan of that sweep shot. Gets him to play it, but just short of that fielder.
Yeah, you love this when you're on the boundary, when you get a nice long hop. Of course, he had to run a good ways, but he gets a nice long hop here to field. Of course, it almost went over his head.
This one pushed down the ground. They'll pick up a single. Orthik Behar to bring Malhotra on to strike again for the Galaxy. You got to break this opening partnership. We talked about it during the break. If these two continue to bat on, this game's going to wrap up in the next 5 to 6 overs. And you even talk about who they could send, the Ravinder Singhs of the world, who was one of the leaders in 2021 in terms of runs scored. Big sweep, big shot, probably outside the line of leg stump, if you ask me. You can see him make that move early. But this is good, sharp bowling from Dimitri Adams. Take a look at this, Nate, before we get back to that.
Yeah, you need this aggression. You really do.
But we've been talking about the batters they can send. Think about Derville Green. Not normally someone you talk about as a top-order batter, but someone who's shown the ability to come in and hit the ball from ball one. Straight down. Does well. Dimitri Adams really well to keep that to none.
Great stop there. Yeah, I would consider something like that. Pinch hitting someone up here to take advantage of your net run rate boost that you can get out of a win, out of a huge win today.
Again, makes room. Hit back down the ground. Put down. Dimitri Adams is put down. Jaskran Malhotra. The Galaxy, this was an opportunity. We talked about the near opportunity just a couple overs ago. Dimitri Adams has put one down here for the Orlando Galaxy, and the Baltimore Royals will get out of this 6th over. My goodness me, what an end to it. Again, we'll just take one more look at this before we go to break.
Comebacker.
Just hit straight back and gotta take those. Gotta take those. Didn't look like his hands quite got there, Nate.
That's a tricky one. That is not an easy catch to take after you've come through your action.
Well, that's the end of the 6 overs. 32 without loss. Well, we talked about spin being brought in with Dimitri Adams. Spin now from the other end. Matthew Comrie, the leg spinner. The young leggy being brought back with the Orlando Galaxy. And can we apologize for some of the technical issues going on here. Just working diligently to fix that little bit of problems. Again, pushed down the ground for one.
Yeah, the youngster Comrie here took 12 wickets in 11 innings last season. He's an up-and-comer. Seems to improve a little bit every single year, which is what you want to see. Very enthusiastic cricketer. We've seen a couple of the good young bowlers on this team today, with Dev Patel being only 23 years old. Comrie here, still qualifying as a U21.
Yeah, some of the sounds and pictures might not be matching up for you right now, as we're just on a touch of a delay with the stream and what we're seeing currently live. So again, I'm just trying to work through those issues. A couple of runs being taken here from the Baltimore Royals. Again, but it's been real clinical. No matter if you're watching it on delay or you're watching this live, it's just all Baltimore Royals, and Matthew Comrie is going to have to break through.
If the visuals aren't lining up with the audio, just close your eyes and listen to Aman Patel tell you a story about how the game is going.
Can't do that without Nate Hayes there. I think we've gone back to what's being seen, maybe not. But again, what's going on right now is that the Orlando Galaxy are in search of a wicket, haven't found it, struggling to find it. Very, very nearly Matthew Comrie asking the right questions.
Beat him there. That was a good one. That was a very good ball by Comrie. He seems to have found a spot he wants to work.
And we're back live now. Pulled into the leg side. Fielders coming around, keeping it to just one. It's a good way to close out the 7th over. The Baltimore Royals nearly seeing the back of Malhotra there. 7 overs gone. It's 35 without loss.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Well, thank you for staying patient with us there. Right now, the Orlando Galaxy, they're running out of patience. Just 47 runs separate the Baltimore Royals from the finish line. Dimitri Adams, who put down Jaskaran Malhotra in his last over. We're back into bowl. Well, asking the right questions, had a couple LBW chances, nearly one that carried to a fielder out at deep mid-wicket. One that carried to him. So can he get his man? Short, chipped up into the leg side. Fielder might cut it off. Has he? No, he hasn't. Really good effort. There's a really good effort on the boundary. Can't fault that. The execution just not there. Really a real long hop that delivery was. It'll be 4 runs.
It's a very difficult ball to try to stop at the boundary. You're coming on a straight line towards a curve, and you've got to get yourself behind that ball and not touch the rope and stop it at the same time and push it back in. It's a very difficult angle that he took there. Out of necessity, of course, but that is not easy to do. 5 stars for the effort, at least.
Well, talk about effort. It's not going to be about effort now for the Orlando Galaxy. It's good signs for it. For the Galaxy's first game, low score. You see that effort from your fielders. This one's come off the pad of Malhotra. Again, he's been good, Dimitri Adams. Hasn't really given Jaskaran a lot of time or room to play any big shots that we've grown accustomed to seeing Malhotra play. This one chipped. Look at that one. Just jumps up on Jaskaran Malhotra. Was looking to sweep it almost and kind of pulled out of the shot. No one inside the ring there to take advantage.
Bit of a change up there. Malhotra, his timing was well ahead of the ball, and he tried to stop himself, and that's what caused that to flub up into the air there. Yeah, only one bad ball here from Adams so far.
This time, straight back down the ground, straight like an arrow, as they would say. 6 runs go to Jaskaran Malhotra. Those are the kind of shot making that we've grown accustomed to from the Royal captain, and they'll bring it even closer to the finish line now.
And just as I say, he's only had one bad ball. He puts one right into Jaskaran's slot. That's going to be a boundary every time for Jaskaran.
Well, there you go. Just those couple of boundaries. 10 runs already in this over. There's just 37 more runs required to finish things off, and that net run rate for the Baltimore Orioles will take a huge boost, especially if they can remain with 10 wickets in hand and finish this game off quickly with plenty of balls to spare. Pushed into the leg side. They'll find a single, and they'll come back for two. A smart, good running from the two men in the middle. Good understanding these two have formed with just a couple of innings played together.
And just Karn's leg seems to be doing all right now to run those. So I think mostly he's recovered. He gave himself the ball at the end of that last innings towards the end, and now he's moving well.
Again, down the leg side, fine leg in place, won't be able to cut it off. It's going to run all the way to the boundary rope. It's not a great ball to start the over. It's not a great way to close the over out as well. The 50 will come up after that 4 there. And Malhotra, that's just well too easy for him.
Yeah, he just gets the top of it, smothers it there, and then Sayrawat takes slightly the wrong angle to the ball, and the ball was just motoring away. It's rolling down a slight hill there. And, we've got good grass here at Church Street Park, so the grass isn't going to slow it down.
Yeah, as soon as it beat fine leg, you really felt there's no chance for deep backward square to come around and save that delivery to be anything more. And look at this for Jaskar Malhotra. That over a big one, 14, and then the 2. 14 coming off boundaries, and then that 2, 16 runs coming from it. And Malhotra really got things going. He moves to 31 off of 30 deliveries and just 31 more runs required. We talked about 10, 11 overs would probably be the target point for the Royals to chase this total down. Well, just with 2 overs left till that. Talk about 31 runs required as Matthew Comrie comes back into bowl. Nate, he had a good first over, just went for 3 runs. And so you're going to hope that he can make some inroads. And equally, we talk about net run rate for the Royals. Some wickets would help. Was going to be a poor run rate for the Galaxy. Big shout, big shout. I think down leg. I think that's what the signal was. Behera probably standing on his leg stick there.
Let's take a look here. It might have been pitched close to the leg line there, but yeah. That's a good ball still.
It's a good ball from Comrie. Showing off the stuff. Makes some room, hits it over cover. That's glorious. That is glorious from young Rithvik Behera. That's a shot of pure class. Made some room for himself and just helped himself over cover. He'll find 4 more.
Yeah, that's a really nice shot there. That's a region that a lot of good batters love to score that way. And obviously, he put it there on a tee for him, but we see Ritwick's strength there. His timing was nice.
Yeah, not many better sights in cricket than a lofted cover drive, and Rithvik Behera, very technically sound and showing off all the shots now. Again made room, again goes through covers. We'll find the fielder this time. No, slips, unable to keep it down. We talked about some misfields for the Royals. This one, the biggest blunder so far. It's an easy 4 for Rithvik Behera.
Yeah, just a little bit sloppy there. Over pursued that one.
Something watchful for me if you're Matthew Comrie. Again, you can see the overshooting there. If you're Matthew Comrie, you've seen Behera on a couple of occasions try to make some room for himself. Maybe the googly comes out now. Sweep, expecting it. Fielder's there though. Makes the catch. No, puts it down. No, excuse me, he'll take it. He will take it. Looked like he might have put it down for a moment, but he ends up taking it in the end. Matthew Comrie's going to enjoy that. You can hear the come on from him. It's been a frustrating start of play for the Galaxy, but they get the wicket of Rithvik Behera in the end.
Just taking him on with that sweep there. And good catch, good catch. You got to get yourself low, get your eyes to the ball. Protect your elbows. Get underneath the ball and make sure that you bring that in.
Well, after piercing a couple of gaps on the offside, Behera looked to go on the onside. Again, it seems like the message is to finish it within 10 overs after the aggression we've just seen from Behera. And he'll have to go as a well-played innings for him. 25 from 23. Excuse me, 25 from 22 before he's dismissed there. 4 fours to his name as we see the insertion of Ravinder Singh, as he'll come out with his bat in hand.
This is the the traditional move here, obviously bringing in Ravinder Singh. So we were getting creative with our ideas of pitching somebody up the order.
We're a creative bunch here. We don't just talk about cricket when we're on call, Nate. We also talk about hex codes and colors.
We do. Yeah, and I wanted to say here that this pudding jersey, this vanilla pudding jersey, I do like it. I want to clarify that. But I saw the team in their lavender warm-ups, and I thought, oh my goodness, did I make them switch their jerseys when I came in? And I was like, what, you guys are leaving the vanilla pudding jerseys behind? They're like, oh no, these are just our warm-ups.
Well, so, Nate Hayes does have that kind of impact around the cricket scene in the United States, so wouldn't be surprised to see a team change up his jersey mid-season. Said, oh well, Nate Hayes said he would like another one. Well,
to me, they should double down. They got to double down. Next year, maybe even make the pants the same color.
Maybe make them like vanilla wafers.
Maybe make the pants chocolate pudding.
There you go. Off the legs, the fetch one for it to move them to 60. With just 22 runs left to go here for the Baltimore Royals, Jaskiran Malhotra will be on strike. And again, a certain victory here. And Nate, they won't mind you calling the jerseys banana pudding because barring some kind of miracle for the Orlando Galaxy, they'll have 2 wins through 3 matches and plenty of confidence going into tomorrow's matchup with the Orlando Galaxy.
Another good team joins the South, and Baltimore are all about proving that. They're definitely a very solid team, full of talent. It's been fun watching them.
Straight down the ground, fetch that one. He's gone to both side screens now, a straight 6 on either side of the ground. Jaskiran Malhotra stamping his authority on this innings, moves to 37 with that one. Nate, that's just vintage Jaskiran Malhotra.
Yeah, I said last over, you put the ball there for Jaskiran, he's not going to miss it. He's going to put it right back over your head, and he's done that again here. So, that's what you're going to see from Jaskiran.
Well, 16 runs now needed for the Royals, and we mentioned 10 overs would probably be the marker they were looking at coming into the innings, and so we'll probably see him swing for 16 off 1, and maybe Ravinder Singh just helping strike away to his captain, who's in full flow and has an opportunity to get to his 50. Would be his second 50 of the tournament. And again, Jaskiran Malhotra had to be ecstatic when he saw the schedule come out and see that the Baltimore Royals are playing their home games at Church Street Park. His return has been ever so successful. He's found incredible runs, has been brilliant behind the stumps, and took a wicket today as well. So true all-around performance for him, as we see Dimitri Adams back with the ball.
Dimitri Adams, as he prepares, he can throw you off a little bit and make you think that you're like, wait a second, I thought they were bowling from this end, because the way he gets ready and he squats down, he looks like a keeper himself. So, yeah, he's thrown me off a couple of times with that.
Gets that single we were talking about. I think that's all they're looking to do is just get Jaskiran Malhotra on strike. 15 runs left to get for Malhotra. He's on 37. So 13 away from a 50. He can score all the runs to finish things off, bring up a 50 in style in a match-winning fashion. Wouldn't be the first time he's done that. Finish a match here at Church Street Park. Think about his best innings in minor league cricket. His 90-odd not out. I believe against the very same Orlando Galaxy. So some terrific innings for Malhotra against this Galaxy side. Tucks it into the leg side, calls for 2. They'll push hard, no. Ravinder will send Malhotra back. And you mentioned how Dimitri Adams is an all-around cricketer, an all-around effort there.
Yeah, definitely an all-around effort. You're going to get that from him every time. It doesn't matter what's happening in the game. I think that's the type of attitude. If you're Orlando, that's what you need to have throughout this team. They're not a team that's going to blow the whole division away with talent. They're going to have to do it with unity, and they're going to have to do it with effort. And doing the little things right, and I think that's what, to me, Dimitri represents.
Push was just taken. He's dropped one earlier, and he's taken this one. Finger goes up late. Ravinder has to go. He was just waiting on the umpire's decision. And after dropping Malhotra a couple overs ago, he'll take Ravinder Singh, and second wicket goes down here. Some fight here for the Galaxy.
That's a great grab. Look at this, like a leapfrog. See, this is what I said when he's preparing. He's squatting down there like a frog, and that you can see that he is kind of frog-like even after he delivers the ball. That's great. That's an amazing catch. Terrific.
Terrific stuff that from the Galaxy. Plenty of fight from Dimitri Adams. You're gonna make things hard. That's what you're gonna want to do for the Galaxy. It also, this is an opportunity, I think, for you as a team to reflect and look at your side and just see the characters you have. I think losses, you have an opportunity to learn the most, especially early on in the year. You can learn what your team's really made of.
Yeah.
Again, this is a new team, new side, still learning each other. So, you know, the batting failure, okay, you'll toss that up to some inexperience, but you could always adjust how your behavior is on the field. And to see the fight, the effort there is going to take, I think, for a lot of guys, a place back into 11 after a night like this.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we learn when we see a game like this, and that you who are watching learn as well, is that this Baltimore franchise, very good bowling team. I mean, they can bat too, obviously, but we've now seen them here at Church Street Park for three games. And, you know, last year they were one of the top bowling teams in the entire league when they were branded as the Washington franchise, but now they're branded as the Baltimore franchise. And, you know, that hasn't changed. They're still a very good bowling team, obviously batting well today too. But, yes, you know, if you're Orlando, you got to cling to every little victory.
Bhargat Singh into the middle. We saw him with the one over. That was expensive. I think went for 17 runs against Rohit Dutchin, but now trying to give that punishment back to Dimitri Adams. Short down the leg side is going to be a wide given there. Free runs. We've seen a couple of those from Adams, and he's going to want to fix those in the coming matches. Just get those out of his system. The breakfast balls, if you will. Again, wide. Turning well back into the right-hander. Just starting on the wrong line is Dimitri Adams. I wouldn't be surprised to see him change an angle, too, and push it across with the amount of turn he's getting back into a right-hander. This time on the legs, tucked into the leg side. We'll give Malhotra 2 deliveries of strike here with 11 runs to go. So the exact situation you would have won if you're Jessica Malhotra. The 6-hitter has an opportunity to end the game off 2 sixes and would exactly bring up 50 runs for him off 40 deliveries. See if he's eyeing that target here, if he knows. Creativity. Big shout of out. Umpire gives it late. Jessica Malhotra has to go. He's in some disbelief as he has to walk off. It's been a decent knock for him. He stares at the wicket as he walks out. But Dimitri Adams, that's 2 in the over. And is there just a little bit of a change happening?
This is interesting. He chopped that, it looked like onto something, and it popped up in the air. Did he chop it onto the ground first and then his leg, or did it go off the leg or foot immediately? It certainly sprung up there in a way that it would have never done if he had just chopped it in the air.
Well, let's take a look at it. Just looking to reverse sweep it. Did it come off the gloves there, Nate? I think that's my one question.
Yeah.
As it's bouncing up, I think it might have found the right glove of his on the way through.
I'm unsure.
The umpire was sure of it, though, and Malhotra has to go.
That was pretty weird.
Pretty weird indeed, but weird is what the Baltimore Royals needed. They'll get out of the 10th over, at least with 1 delivery to go. Jessica Malhotra has to depart. Ahad Malik will come with bat in hand, and he has a 50 in his own right in minor league cricket. Was really impressive, making the trip over from California, playing in the Bay Area last year as a member of San Diego Surf Riders. Wide delivery. This is something you're going to want to take away if you're Dimitri Adams. He's bowled too well to be bowling these extras and giving away free runs. Just 10 needed now for the Baltimore Royals as they inch towards victory.
Oh,
how about this? Big shout for a stumping, but Dimitri Adams, again, something to look at. Do you start bowling him a little bit sooner after seeing what he's doing on this wicket? The 10th over goes at 72 for 3. We'll take one last look at this. Again, just beats the outside edge. 10 overs gone.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Matthew Comrie to continue from the Shiloh Grove end of the ground, and Nate, he spun a web. He's showing some big signs of turn. Were taken for some runs by Rithik Behera in his previous over. One boundary off a misfield and one just a pure class, but loving the fight back you're seeing from the Galaxy. Little paddle sweep will result in one. They could push for two. They'll settle for the one and make it single digits now, just 9 runs required.
Yeah, that paddle sweep worked well because of the fullness of the ball. The line there, if it had not been so full, it might not have been such a great result.
All brings along Ahaz Malik, and he'll be the left-hander that Comrie will have to navigate. He's shown some big turn back in to the left-hander, and we've seen Malik's ability to play some of those sweep shots. If you can find the pocket between deep mid-wicket and long on, he could find himself a boundary here. Slip in place. Good length. I like the length here from Comrie. He was quick through the air, but he's not going to let Malik sit and free his arms or clear his arms through the line of the ball. It's more so going to make him play the turn.
Yeah, we've seen some good stuff from Malik last weekend.
This one tucked. Has he found beat point? He hasn't. Really good work. Really good work. I'm enjoying the fight here. There's only 9 runs to go. It's a certain victory for the Baltimore Royals, but you can see the Galaxy not giving an inch. They're fighting for every single run. Important when you start off a campaign like this.
Yeah, you know, they'll have this to look at. Oh, at least our spinners are off to a good start.
Tickled into the leg side. They'll find one out to deep mid-wicket. As you mentioned, the spinners have been good. Dimitri Adams and Matthew Comrie, and so maybe see a couple more of those early. We saw the Baltimore Royals last week use spinners in the power play. Of course, the Baltimore Raptors using the likes of Dane Pete in the power play. So just interesting decisions and questions that can be asked now because of how well both Comrie and Adams have been bowling.
Yes, good questions. What will they do in their next game? And that will be tomorrow at 12 p.m. here at Church Street Park. We're going to have a rematch.
Very excited for that. Like, always exciting to have games here at Church Street Park, huh, Nate?
Absolutely.
Push into the offside for one. Yeah, they'll have the rematch here in the Galaxy. Again, they'll have some positive signs. Comrie, they'll have, we've mentioned the spinners, but mention a guy like Sumit Sarawat, who was bowling well when he was starting things off. Also, as we close out this over at the end of 11 at 75 for 3. Dimitri Adams, he'll bowl a 4th consecutive over here, and why not? He's given up 25 runs, but the 2 big wickets that he's taken, think about, Jessica and Malhotra, the biggest of the lot, the biggest fish in this pond. Use of the feet. Adams has been working really nicely in those areas when he hasn't strayed down the leg side. He's been hard to put away, Nate.
Yeah, he's done very well. He's been able to get something out of the wicket. He's been, like you said, only a couple of bad deliveries, but he's definitely threatening every time.
And then, again, we've seen this often when you get down in a match. You just try to throw off the rhythm of a batter, try to change things up. Don't let him go in free flow. Reverse sweep. Big shout. Looks good. Not given. I thought maybe, but maybe with the amount of turn we've seen from Adams.
Ooh, I want to see how this one missed here. Let's see. Pitch looks great. Like you said, maybe too much turn.
Yeah,
had to turn too much. It just had, I mean, it looked like it turned quite a bit.
Maybe just going down leg there. Oh, this one, again, one of those extras we've seen from Adams where he's just bowled a long hop down the leg side. And those wides, again, just single digits on the board. Something to cut off for tomorrow's matchup. Again, we'll have the same meeting at noon. Tucked into the leg side. But this is also something I would have liked to have seen earlier. That short mid-wicket fielder, those fielders staggered inside the circle to keep those singles in that little area down. We saw a lot of that from Malhotra and Behera to start things off. Again, forcing the batters to place it as they find another single. Pushing for two, they'll get it. Looks like they'll get it quite comfortably in the end.
Yes, and we've talked about some of the youngsters we've seen today. USA U19 lost today to Canada on the final ball. 2 needed to win for Canada, and Canada got 2. And local Utkarsh Shrivastava took 3 wickets today for USA.
Good to see the youngsters performing. The Orlando Galaxy would have been happy to see what Matthew Comrie has done. There's a run-out chance at the non-strikers end. Ball didn't ever get into that area. And we'll see how quickly, it's a 1 strike in the game now. Just needs 1 big hit. 5 runs needed now for the Baltimore Royals. And we mentioned the youngsters, talk about Matthew Comrie. Also, I thought William Chigar to start things off. He looked good. Again, unfortunate dismissal for him, but some positive signs with the youngsters for the Orlando Galaxy and the Baltimore Royals. Speaking of Hrithik Behera, in the air for a moment, will get a single, and will misfield it. It'll go all the way for 4. Not the first time we've seen this, and it will be the last on today's match because those are the winning runs. Really sums up the match for me for the Orlando Galaxy. Just self-inflicted wounds. The Baltimore Royals, they played and did good things. But the Orlando Galaxy felt like they shot themselves in the foot on every turn, and it's misfields like this that just sum it up.
It's just a bad angle to the ball. You want to make sure you're behind the ball as often as you can. That way you can take that last angle that you need to in towards the ball. And that was a direct line that the fielder took to the ball. He was about maybe as many as 10 yards off the boundary when that ball got past him, and there was no reason for him to be that shallow.
Well, we talked about a direct line. Well, it was a direct line of victory for the Baltimore Royals. They kept the Galaxy to 81 in that first innings, and then the likes of Hrithik Behera, Jessica Malhotra opening the batting. Hrithik scoring 25 from 22, Malhotra 38 from 33, and then Bhagat Singh 5 from 9, Ahad Malik 5 from 5 to finish things off with that final boundary. 2 wickets for Dimitri Adams, a wicket for Matthew Comrie. Just the 4 bowlers used for the Galaxy, but it's something to look at. A great showing here at Churchill Park under the lights for the Baltimore Royals as they advance to 2-1, Nate. Again, we'll have another match tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Join us right here at Church Street Park, where we'll get to see these 2 sides face off. And I think it's going to be a very different matchup. Not going to say different results, but a matchup that could be very different with 2 teams now understanding the wicket and with the Galaxy a game under their belt. Saw some of those good young stars, and I'm super excited to see what we have tomorrow. And Church Street Park, what's better than that?
Yeah, it's tough to top it, really. And you know, as I mentioned, it's important, very important, that Orlando come together and unify and not get down on themselves. And tomorrow, they got to turn this around, and they'll be playing games here tomorrow in about, 16 hours.
Well, 16 hours from now, we'll see you then. For myself, Om Patel, for Nate Hayes, for Babar Beg, for Aaron Butta, who's been switching for us as well, for the entire production crew, thank you so much for joining us here at Church Street Park. We'll see you once again for another match of this 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. Out of the ground, apart from 2 of the wickets. This one pushed through third man, and that'll be the first run. So I'm not going to say it's... This one hit straight back. Really nicely done by Hrithik Behera. It's what he's able to do. Go over the top of the offside. We'll find the first boundary for the Baltimore Royals. Royals eyeing this target. Comes down the track, pulls it into the leg side. No fielders out there. Will land safe and will run all the way to the boundary for 4. So the first real signs of aggression. This one hit into the leg side. Is it going to be out? It's just over the top of the infield. It was a possible chance. It'll be 4. Nasser Ahmed unable to take that one. A near opportunity for the Orlando Galaxy.
Definitely not an easy one, but he got a late read on this ball. It's Orlando had in the entire power play.
Down the leg side, well down the leg side. Malhotra's going to feel he probably could, if he would have connected any bit of it, it's going for 4, but free runs are free runs, and short, chipped up into the leg side. Fielder might cut it off. Has he? No, he hasn't. Really good effort. There's a really good effort on the boundary. Can't fault that.
Yeah, only one bad ball here from Adam so far.
This time, straight back down the ground. Straight like an arrow, as they would say. 6 runs go to Jaskar Malhotra. Those are the kind of shot making.
The end of that last innings, towards the end, and now he's moving well.
Again, down the leg side, fine leg in place, won't be able to cut it off. It's going to run all the way to the boundary rope. It's not a great ball to start the over. It's not a great way. Makes some room, hits it over cover. That's glorious. That is glorious from young Rithvik Behera. That's a shot of pure class. Made some room. Showing off all the shots now. Again made room, again goes through covers. We'll find the fielder this time. No. Slips, unable to keep it down. We talked about some misfields for the Royals. This one, the biggest blunder so far. It ekes some room for himself. Maybe the googly comes out now. Sweep, expecting it. Fielder's there though. Makes the catch. No, puts it down. No, excuse me, he'll take it. He will take it. Looked like he might have put it down for a moment, but he ends up taking it in the end. Matthew Comrie's going to enjoy that. You can hear the come on.
Full of talent. It's been fun watching him.
Straight down the ground. Fetch that one. He's gone to both side screens now.
That's what, to me, Dimitri represents.
Push
Whoa.
was just taken. He's dropped one earlier, and he's taken this one. Finger goes up late. Ravinder has to go. He was just waiting on the umpire's decision. And after dropping Malhotra a couple overs ago, he'll take Ravinder Singh and second. See if he's eyeing that target here, if he knows. Creativity. Big shout of out. Umpire gives it late. Jaskar Malhotra has to go. He's in some disbelief as he has to walk off. It's been a decent knock for him. He stares at the wicket as he walks out, but Dimitri Adams, that's 2 in the over. Some positive signs for the youngsters for the Orlando Galaxy and the Baltimore Royals. Speaking of Rithvik Behera, in the air for a moment, will get a single and will misfield it. It'll go all the way for 4. Not the first time we've seen this, and it will be the last on today's match because those are the winning runs. Really sums up the match for me.
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.